The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. We're live with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is going to be oh my God, my voice is squeaking. This is going to be a bit of a shorter live. I'm not going to go on no live extravaganzas today or this whole month. I want to let you guys know there's going to be no 10-hour, no 12-hour, no 13-hour live this month. We're going to keep it at 2 hours and below, because them 8-hour lives, them 10-hour lives, they take quite a lot out of your boy BT. But I wanted to take this time, and I wanted to take this live, I should say, to kind of just go back in time, because yes, it has been a year. It's been a whole year since Andy Ruiz Jr. flipped the entire heavyweight division on its head. It's been a whole year since Andy Ruiz Jr. Pretty much released the heavyweight division from the clutches of Deontay Wilder and the Anthony Joshua negotiation. So I kind of want to just talk about that fight, before that fight itself, and the after effects it's had on not just boxing but the heavyweight division as well. Since so that's pretty much what this live is about, and I won't be too long-winded today with the live, I promise you. But let's just talk about it for a second. So Andy Ruiz Jr., Anthony Joshua was June the 1st. If we could kind of backtrack a bit, before that, many of you may remember Anthony Joshua. He had a date in place to fight at Wembley Stadium against Deontay Wilder. Never came to fruition, that fight. So then he had to look elsewhere. He tried to get Dillian White to fight him at Wembley Stadium. He tried to get all these guys to fight him at Wembley Stadium. I believe it was in April. Of 2018. And it didn't wind up happening for Anthony Joshua. You see what I'm saying? So the best alternative for him, because he couldn't get Wilder to come fight him at Wembley Stadium, and because he couldn't get Dillian White to fight at Wembley Stadium, the best alternative after that was to fight in America. Now, as many of us know, before the Ruiz fight was even made, he had decided to fight Jarrell Miller. But from the Ruiz side of things, he had a fight on April the 20th, 2019 against Alexander Dimitrenko, the heavyweight veteran Alexander Dimitrenko. And that was on the Adrian Granados, Danny Garcia undercard. And he won that fight. He looked sensational doing it. That was his first fight with the PBC. That was his first fight with Al Heyman. He looked very good, and he threw his name in the hat. After he beat Dimitrenko, he threw his name in the hat, not thinking much of it. And he put it out there. He put it out there. So then Joshua makes the fight with Jarrell Miller. He makes that fight with Big Baby Miller. And when he makes that fight with Big Baby, I was really excited for it, because Big Baby had been building his name up for a while in the States. I've been following him since he fought Donovan Dennis on Showbox. He had developed a bit of a working relationship with Eddie Hearn. He was a New Yorker. He was a loudmouth. He had a style that was very favorable to Anthony Joshua. So it made a lot of sense for them to go through with that fight. You see what I'm saying? But as many of us know, Jarrell Miller had a whole heap of drugs in the system, performance-enhancing drugs. And I'll tell you guys a bit of a story about Jarrell Miller. He was doing believe it or not, he was doing his heavyweight training camp. He was doing his training camp down here in South Florida at the Heavyweight Factory just last year for that fight. And the day before he was announced that he tested positive for all those drugs, all the performance-enhancing drugs in the system, I saw him at the gym, and he was acting very funny. So I told my dad that day, I said, "Look, Pops, something's wrong with Jarrell. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong with him." And then it came out the next day. So what was supposed to be an exciting fight between the local New Yorker, the local American New York kid getting his shot at heavyweight glory, it turned into the best opportunity in the world for Andy Ruiz. After Miller failed the drug test and got caught, we had two names thrown in the hat at that time. You had Andy Ruiz Jr. and you had Trevor the Dream Bryan. Now, it's really funny to look at how things have played out since that fight took place, because at the time, I remember I was lobbying for Trevor Bryan to get that fight, because I wanted him to get that fight, because Trevor, I've seen him working hard here. He trains in South Florida. I wanted to see him get his chance and his shot at heavyweight glory to see where he was at. Why not? Eddie Hearn wanted to put on a more competitive fight because he wanted Anthony Joshua to make more of a splash in his American debut. Andy Ruiz had more of the name value. He had been in that tough fight with Joseph Parker back in 2016, in which many people thought he won. So depending on who you talk to, Andy Ruiz went into that fight in the eyes of some as the undefeated, uncrowned heavyweight champion because of the fight he had with Joseph Parker years ago. So the stage was set. Andy Ruiz was Anthony Joshua. The attitude of the boxing world at that particular time was that, you know, Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. Andy Ruiz has definitely proven himself to be a worthy challenger, but Anthony Joshua is just too much of a force at this particular time. And he, you know, Andy Ruiz might put up a good fight, but ultimately he will be stopped by the superior fighter, which is Anthony Joshua. Now, it's interesting because Deontay Wilder had fought 2 weeks before Anthony Joshua, and you gotta remember, Deontay Wilder is coming off the heels of a fight with Tyson Fury of December of 2018, where he had just dropped Fury in the 12th round, and a lot of people thought he was cheated out of that fight, which I don't think so, but a lot of people thought he was cheated. He then follows it up fighting Dominic Breazeale, and he beats him in more sensational fashion than anybody that's fought Dominic Breazeale, including Anthony Joshua. So Wilder, whether the AJ fans or whether people want to admit it or not, Wilder had put up a lot of pressure on Anthony Joshua to perform. And I think Anthony Joshua wanted to one-up Wilder because at this time last year, and it's crazy to think, but at this time last year, Tyson Fury wasn't looked at to be the best heavyweight in the world. It was still the fight in the heavyweight division was still Joshua versus Wilder. So Wilder did his part. He performed exceptionally well against Breazeale, knocked him out in a round, decapitated him like no man before him has ever decapitated him. And Anthony Joshua was making his American debut at Madison Square Garden. He wanted to definitely go in there and make an impression. And it looked like early, and then going to the fight, it looked like that was going to be the case. You know, he dropped Andy Ruiz early in that fight. I believe it was it the third round, fifth round? I forgot what round it was, but he dropped him in one of the rounds first. So when he dropped Andy Ruiz first in that fight, a lot of people thought, and you know, if you go back and watch the fight, Sergio Mora during that fight said Anthony Joshua is one of the best finishers in boxing. Watch this. He said, "Watch this." So we watched, and we watched, and Andy Ruiz caught Anthony Joshua in the middle of a combination with a left hook on the temple. He dropped Anthony Joshua, and that's where the whole heavyweight division eventually got flipped upside its head. That was the first knockdown. You know, moments later, another knockdown ensued. We had 3 knockdowns in one round, and not too long after that, Andy Ruiz stopped Anthony Joshua, and he became the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. Now, why was this fight so significant to the heavyweight division? That's what we have to look at. Why was this fight so significant to the heavyweight division and how things are now? Well, first of all, that fight, it kind of took Wilder and Joshua, and for the time being, it threw it in the trash can. It's thrown it in the trash can. That fight doesn't have the same sparkle or allure that it once had because it's no longer 2 undefeated champions. Both Wilder and Joshua have went on to take a loss since that fight. You see what I'm saying? They both lost. They both lost. Joshua lost that night. Wilder lost this past February against Fury. So that no longer made Joshua and Wilder the premier heavyweights in the division, and it opened the door for both Tyson Fury and even Andy Ruiz for a small space of time to take over the division. Now, Andy Ruiz ultimately blew that chance when he came into the ring against Anthony Joshua in the rematch. He did his best Buster Douglas impression, you know, looking like Jabba the Hutt. And basically, you know, he wasn't his best self, and a lot of Anthony Joshua. You know, Anthony Joshua boxed a great fight, but it gave Joshua, it made his life a lot easier. You see what I'm saying? Also big shout out to my man Ronald Finkley. He says the day AJ got beat up. Yes, that was the day AJ got his ass whooped thoroughly. And it was such a significant fight for the division, you know. Because like you guys got to remember, The same way we can say, and I want to be fair here because a lot of people say that I'm not fair towards Deontay Wilder, which whatever, I don't care what they say anymore. But you got to remember, much like Tyson Fury wasn't Deontay Wilder's first option, Andy Ruiz was definitely not Anthony Joshua's first option. And Anthony Joshua that night, he made the mistake. Not just that night, the whole promotion, he made the mistake of overlooking Andy Ruiz. You know, when you guys remember when he gave him the belts at the press conference. I was just rewatching that press conference a couple days ago when he put the belts in Anthony Joshua's hands, or no, Andy Ruiz's hands, I should say. When Anthony Joshua put the belts in Andy Ruiz's hands, you know, you had the commentator saying, "Wow, look at this champion! Look at Anthony Joshua. He's so classy." And I was thinking to myself, this dude's a fucking idiot. Why would you do that? And I like AJ, but he's an idiot for that. You see what I'm saying? But he made that mistake. It was a big mistake. And I'll be honest with you. I thought, just giving you my honest assessment of what I thought was going to happen going into that fight, I knew Andy Ruiz had a slight chance, but I really wasn't giving him a big chance myself. I thought at the time myself, I was like, you know what? Right now, I just think, as you know, Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. He's no pushover. He's no slouch. But Anthony Joshua right now, he's at a certain level where he's not going to get beat by a guy like Ruiz. You know, that's what I thought. The same way I'm sure many Wilder fans thought that Fury was going to do what he did to him. You see what I'm saying? But that's why heavyweight boxing is so good, because just when you think a guy's on top, just when you think a guy has the division in the palm of his hands, we see that's not proven to be true. That's why, like right now, even I'll be honest with you, as a Tyson Fury fan, all right, as a big Tyson Fury fan, I'm actually a bit. There's some things that I've been seeing recently about him in the media that are actually beginning to get me a little bit worried about where he'll be in a third Wilder fight. I'm not saying I think he'll lose to Wilder, but we know Fury's not the most mentally stable guy, and like he's been talking a lot about this big fat new contract from ESPN, and I'm really hoping that he focuses on Wilder in the third fight, because if he doesn't, he's gonna be in some big trouble. All right, he's gonna be in some big trouble. But that fight was very significant for the heavyweight division. It was very significant for the heavyweight division and where boxing was going to go moving forward, because Anthony Joshua was only a fight away. I think if he would have won that fight, they probably would have I think they would have got the Wilder fight done next. But because he lost, you know, there was no reason for them to make it happen, because Joshua wanted the rematch and Wilder was going to go his own route and fight Fury. You see what I'm saying? And since then, you know, the aftermath of it, I think the aftermath of that fight has really exposed a lot about Fury, Wilder, Joshua, and Ruiz. For Joshua, he's come back since then, and I think that he's proven that, hey, while he might be a little bit fragile, while he might be fragile, he's a lot more mentally stronger than a lot of people want to give him credit for. Because I don't care how fat Ruiz came into the ring that night, you know, he still has some of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division if you sit there and let him plant his feet. And if Anthony Joshua was as mentally fragile as some people want to make him out to be, he would have found a way to lose that fight. But he did what a champion should have done tonight. He found a way to win. So Anthony Joshua isn't as mentally fragile as people want to say he is. But I don't think he's as great either as people want. I think he's somewhere in the middle of all that. Andy Ruiz, after that fight, he had a lot of us believing that, hey, he was going to be the next big thing in boxing, and you know that, hey, maybe this guy's for real. He made a believer out of a lot of people. He made a believer out of a lot of people that night. You see what I'm saying? And we saw that success can expose someone more than failure can as well, because like you guys heard Manuel Robles' trainer say it. He became a whole different guy. He was a whole different guy when he won the title, seemingly overnight. And I could kind of sense that when he won, because when he won the title, you know, you see the Rolls Royces, you see the mansions, you see him buying a Range Rover for his baby mom, you see him, you know, hiring naked sushi girls for his birthday parties, and him partying with Logan Paul and all these guys. This wasn't the same, you know, and this didn't seem to be from afar the same Andy Ruiz that we saw before the fight, that was humble, that was all these things. And it caused a big concern for me going into the rematch. That's why I made the video saying that, you know, I made the video saying to myself, like, is Andy Ruiz going to be the second Buster Douglas? You know, that's what I thought. So that's what it was there. Then with Fury, since then we've seen Fury. He's been able to rise. The cream has definitely been rose to the top, and I believe just so long as he stays focused, it will continue rising to the top. You know, he seems to be on a good training regimen, a good training program, and he's disciplined. I just, you know, he really seems to be motivated by getting this new contract with ESPN because I think he's got 2 more fights left on his deal. And after it's up, he wants to get paid really, really well. Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. I was saying Tyson Fury's he's risen to the top. He's shown the ability to. He's shown himself to be one of the most versatile heavyweights in the history of boxing. I'll be honest with you. And people might think that's crazy that I'm saying that Tyson Fury is slowly proving himself to be one of the most versatile heavyweights in boxing. But I mean, if you look at the way he beat Klitschko and you look at the way he beat Wilder, he beat him in 2 totally different fashions. And very few people believed Fury when he said that he was going to fight Deontay Wilder. Very few people believed Fury when he said that he was going to fight Wilder in a Kronk gym boxing style. So, you know, hey, Fury's risen to the top right now. He is the man in the heavyweight division. He beat Klitschko 5 years ago. He beat Wilder today. He's got, you know, maybe not, he doesn't have the body of work Anthony Joshua has, but he's got the higher quality wins in my humble opinion. And now we're here. It's 2020. We're on quarantine, and we're waiting for boxing to start back up. And the heavyweight division is an interesting place. And I'll be honest with you guys. I think if Andy Ruiz didn't whoop up on Anthony Joshua that night, it's very likely that we would still be talking about these damn Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder negotiations, because no matter which side of the fence you're on, whether you're on the PBC side or the Anthony Joshua side or whatnot, neither side was willing to make any sort of compromise. Wilder and his team seemed to have their price point. DAZN and Matchroom, they had their contract, but they weren't going to budge on the offer that they made. You know, so because neither side was willing to negotiate or come to a happy medium, the fight didn't happen. And thank God. And I'm speaking this as a boxing. I like Fury, I like Josh, I like all these guys, but like I'm glad Andy Ruiz won that night. That's why when I watched that fight that night, I was just happy to see a great heavyweight fight. I didn't care that Anthony Joshua lost. If you go back and you watch my live fight reaction from that night, I was going insane. I was running around my apartment. I had my damn shirt off. It was probably one of the best live fight reactions we ever did. Anyway, we'll get to some comments, guys. There's not going to be a long show today. I'm only trying to be on for like an hour, maybe 2 today. So if I invite people on, it's not going to be no. It's not going to be no damn. It's not going to be no marathon. I'm cutting the marathons off. No 8-hour specials this week. Let's see. We got all right. Ronald Finkley with the super chat said, appreciated new media. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself new media or old media. I'm just BT, but thank you. All right, so I'm gonna drop the link down below. If any of y'all want to give your thoughts on the Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua fight since it's the 1-year anniversary and how it's changed boxing, and give your little thoughts on it, you're welcome to come on. You really are trolling me, Nathan. I see you, Nathan, in the comments. Who is or what is BT? What is what? I don't know what you're asking me, Marshall. Official, what's up, champ? Yeah, man. Ebony Bridges was going ape shit. She was going crazy. All right, we got my boy Nathan Carey. Let's say what's up to Nathan.
Hello, my brother.
Nathan, what's up, man?
How are you? I think
I'm well.
that that Joshua is very fragile, and we've now seen him being exposed to the point where he's going to have a lot more losses on his record in a year or two.
You think so?
I seriously.
He might just hold on, Nate. Hold on. I'm gonna add Ronald. Okay. Ronald Finkley, what's up, man?
What's good?
How you living, man? You good?
I'm good.
We talking about Ruiz right now. What were you saying, Nathan?
Yeah.
I think that Joshua is so fragile. The only reason he beat Ruiz because Ruiz wasn't in shape, and Joshua changed his style. I reckon if Ruiz had been in proper shape, he would have won the rematch. That's my real feeling. And I think it's only a matter of time before someone else comes along and beats Joshua. I'm not saying Polev's a great fighter, but he could still expose more of Joshua. You know, he may even get knocked down in this fight. I think Joshua is more fragile than we think he is.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a great answer to that because Pulev is like bigger than AJ, isn't he?
No, he's a little bit smaller. He's about 2
inches
smaller.
He's a bit smaller. He's a bit smaller.
Oh, okay.
I think
I could
he's
see Pulev
about maybe like 6'4".
Okay, so he's not as mobile as AJ. So AJ might do the same type of situation that he did with Ruiz second fight.
Yeah.
Just stay his distance and kind of like pot shot. AJ was looking like Floyd Mayweather. That was crazy to me.
Yo, he was throwing all these different types of jabs. Like I was in England when the rematch happened, and I remember I was sitting there. I'm like, yo, he's throwing up jabs and he's flicking. I'm like, well, who the hell is this guy?
But did you notice when Joshua, as soon as Ruiz got close, he shit himself. He started grabbing him like he was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah,
he was doing so much holding. It was like watching Klitschko in his prime.
Yeah, well, I mean, Vladimir Klitschko was giving him advice at one point. I remember, like in 2018, Vlad said he was giving Anthony Joshua all his advice. So maybe he took some of it for that fight.
But he fought just like Klitschko for that fight.
Yeah, he'll fight like him again if he has to.
I hope he doesn't continue to fight like this because it's boring to watch him fight like Klitschko. He's not as effective as Klitschko was. It's just awkward seeing him fight like that when we know he can blast people out. But obviously, if he doesn't fight like that, he's going to get knocked out again.
I think Tyson Fury's going to stop him if they fight, to be honest with you.
In 4 or 5 rounds. I don't see the fight going long at all.
Yeah. What you think, Ronald? Ronald, you there? Oh, okay. He apparently got a phone call. Nathan, yeah. So you're saying 4 or 5 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. 4 or 5 rounds.
I think Fury wins the fight. You know where they have the gloves off thing? I think Fury will win it when they confront each other. That's where he'll win the fight mentally.
Yeah, hopefully it happens at some point. I'm just, I hope Ruiz. I hope Ruiz can get himself like back in the mix. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever be champion again, but I hope he wins like a couple of big fights here and there.
He will. I've seen a picture of him. He's in training. I read it on Boxing News. He's back in training. He's turning over new. If he gets in shape, he'll win another world title. Joshua.
I saw on Instagram today. He was doing like he posted a video on Instagram today. He was doing push-ups and all kinds of stuff. So hey, I think with Andy Ruiz, he gets there. If he comes in shape. And like our boy in the comments, GMB always talks about. He's got that great torso. He's got a great hand speed, and when he plants those feet, he's as dangerous as anybody in the heavyweight division. So,
he doesn't look like an athlete, but he's fucking good. Yeah, he's got good, like you say, he's quick with his hands. He's a quality fighter. People that look at him and think he's not a good fighter. I know he doesn't look like an athlete, but he's fucking good. Look, that Joshua fight showed you how good he was, and the fight where he fought Joseph Parker, which was a fight he won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see Ruiz back in there with? Like what if you were Ruiz's manager? Who would you have him to get in there with first to rebuild himself?
One fight would be outside the top 20 sort of guy. Then in his next fight, I'd up him to fight someone like Dillian White. I think stylistically, he's a nightmare for Dillian White. And he's got
Eddie Hearn won't let that happen. I don't see Eddie Hearn letting that fight happen.
No, because if it does happen, Ruiz will make White look even worse than he already does. He'll expose him really badly, skill-wise.
Yeah. Welcome back, Ronald.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I just asked Nathan. I said, if who would you want to see Ruiz get back in there with next, because to rebuild himself?
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Ruiz fight the guy that Dylan White fought. The guy, the Cuban guy. What's his name? Man, I can't.
Oscar Rivas.
Oh, Oscar Rivas.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, that'd be a good test for him, because Rivas is a very rugged guy.
Yeah, and they kind of like fight similar to me because they both like got good speed on their hands and they kind of counter each other. It's like welterweights and heavyweights. You know what I mean? Like I could see them like just banging it out. Like I could really see them just banging it out, like with the good hand speed and the combos and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just trading back and forth.
Yeah.
Because neither one of them, like when Rivas or Ruiz fight, like they're not the kind of fighters that fight you in angles. I mean, they're pretty much like they're there to be hit.
Pretty much. Yeah, because Ruiz like to mix it up. Yeah, AJ head bobbling all over the place, yo. I went fishing that day. I was thinking like it was gonna be a wash. AJ was gonna wash. I just think AJ got anxiety like when he came to America. I just really think he just kind of didn't understand like the big stage. Because Europe, they say Europe is big, but Europe ain't as big as America, man.
It's not, man. I went there and I was like, damn, this place is small.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
The problem with AJ was he got pushed so quickly. Joshua got pushed so quickly. He got pushed like 2 years before he was even ready for a world title. Before he should have even been in the ring for a world title. Charles Martin was like having Christmas all at once, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
If you look at like
exactly.
Yeah. If you look at like the rounds, the amount of rounds Wilder, Fury, and AJ have boxed, AJ's boxed like he's boxed like 80 rounds less than Fury and like probably like about 30 rounds less than Wilder. But even though so even though he's been champion, he's still kind of green.
Yeah, exactly. I like the whole fact that remember when how you doing, Nathan Carey? Are you AJ?
How you doing?
Are you an AJ fan, or are you a Fury fan, or
I'm
what type
a Fury
of
fan, mate.
are you?
Fury fan.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I know your guy is Wilder. I know you team Wilder all day.
You know the power. I like the power. I like the power of Wilder. That's all I like about Wilder. Like his power and his chin, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just needs to get some skills with the power, and he'd be all right. But I don't know, man. It just seems like he's really, really stubborn, extremely stubborn.
But think about Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis used to kind of get hit a lot too when he used to fight. You know what I mean? Like Lennox Lewis can box like shit though. But I'm just saying,
Lennox Lewis is much better than what Wilder was.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis had one of the best jabs ever.
Yup. I wish he would have stayed with Wilder when they first start like meeting each other. Remember how he was showing Wilder a few techniques?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And can you imagine if Lennox Lewis stayed with him like that whole process?
I mean, he would have picked up something. I hope.
Yep.
Do you still want to see AJ versus Wilder? Because I know people,
you know that.
No.
That's embedded in my head, bro. Since the time that
I
AJ
think Wilder would beat Joshua. I'm convinced of that.
Well, of course, Fury would demolish Wilder. Fury would demolish AJ, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Tyson Fury's gonna end his career when they fight.
So do I. I think Wilder would knock Joshua out in about 5 rounds. Seriously.
So what's the situation? Oh no, I'm not gonna cut you off. Sorry about that.
No, continue talking. That's fine.
What's the situation with Fury being able to fight in the UK though? Like that's the thing that bothers me is the fact that he can't fight in a country where he can like actually compete with AJ.
He can fight in Britain if he wants to, but he makes all his money in America because of what the deal he's got with Top Rank and Frank Warren. So he can make more money fighting in America. So he'll probably never fight in Britain again.
That's what we've been trying to tell him since day one. Like we would have all showed up for that fight if AJ didn't stall for so long.
But Joshua can make more money in England probably because he's got a bigger fan base in England than what Fury has. or he did have.
I personally like. I hope it doesn't go. I hope the fight doesn't take place in England because let's just say if the fight somehow is close, Fury is not getting a decision. There's no way.
Yeah, I think he would. If people see it, fair enough. Yeah, because it's a British fighter, and if he was American, I could see him losing the decision.
But the thing is, Anthony Joshua,
Eddie Hearn,
boxing. He's the British boxing establishment. So I don't know, man. I have my doubts about that.
But
AJ does like to mix it up, though. AJ does like to mix it up, though. He might get knocked down messing with Fury, but he does like to mix it up. So I can see like that being a good fight.
But you look at it, Joshua's a lot slower than Fury. Fury can move around quicker, make him look silly. Joshua's going to look silly in this fight. I think it's a complete mismatch. People say I'm crazy, but do you agree? This is a big mismatch, in my opinion. Definitely. There's levels between those guys. And I think Fury's just a little bit better than him. Just that level up from him.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's a mismatch. I mean, everybody wants to bring up they bring up the resumes. They say, oh well, Anthony Joshua's fought more guys in the top 10, which is true. As far as the depth of his resume, his resume is better than Fury in terms of depth. But in terms of
but we all know why his resume is better because Fury was off for 3 years. That's the only reason why. So Joshua's had time to develop, but no matter how much he trains, even if he trained for 1,000 years to get better, he will still never beat Fury. He just doesn't have it mentally or physically or skillful to beat the guy.
The reach is bananas. I think AJ's reach is like way lower than Fury's reach. Like, so I could see the jab, and I could just see Fury like making him like fight at a distance. But it's like he had to really move around the ring to like beat Fury. He had to be on some like Andre Ward shit, like try to come in, come out, like it would be like
Ronald Finkley, stop talking out your ass, man. You talk shit.
Joshua's lack of head movement as well.
I have no idea who that is. I have no idea who that is.
I'm just talking
because of Joshua's lack of head movement. He's there to get hit by someone like Fury. Against 99% of the heavyweights, Joshua will win. But this is just one fight that he can't win.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know. I saw your comment earlier. You were talking about. You mentioned something about Hrgovic versus Wilder.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Too great.
Man.
I think in a fight or two, ready for Wilder. In a fight or two.
See, Wilder gonna scare him at the press conference. I feel like Wilder gonna like intimidate him at the press conference. He gonna be just like a young boy. What he like, 23?
No, he's 27. Because he was, he's not a young guy like that.
He's not in his prime yet. Like I don't even think he got his man mentality yet. You gotta be like 30 to have the man mentality. Wilder gonna scare the hell out of him at the press conference, bro. It's gonna be over. Like
the problem Hrgovic is too green. I wish people would stop pushing him before he can walk. You know, he's the future. He's not right now. We're talking a couple of years away. Yeah, Wilder will be gone.
I don't think you're that far. I think with another fight or two under his belt, he'll be ready for a guy like Wilder. I think he has it in him.
But I think Eddie Hearn wants to point him in a different direction. You know, more towards the Dillian White sort of route. That would be a better route for him.
It'll probably be Dillian White or like
Hrgovic is in America, right? He's in a boxing gym in America, right?
He trains in Miami. He trains at Mundo Boxing Gym up the street from where I live.
And I think I got that from you because I watch his shows a lot. And guess what? I'd rather see him like in a couple good like step-up fights with the guys that are out there that heavyweight.
Martin Bacall would be a good fight for him right now. Or Michael Hunter. They would be good fights for him.
That's an easy fight to make. That's an easy fight to make too, because Michael Hunter's his own fighter.
Yeah.
That's a hard fight for Michael Hunter because Hrgovic is probably like more solider than Michael Hunter. I hope Michael Hunter get in more shape. You know what I mean? He's a good boxer though, inside and outside. Yeah, he's very good. I like Michael.
He's the dark horse of the division, as I call it.
Yep. I wouldn't mind seeing Usyk versus Michael Hunter again. I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
I would love to see Andy Ruiz versus Hunter, but I don't think PBC would make that fight because that's not the best style matchup for him. because Michael Hunter moves around a lot. He feels a lot of punches. Andy Reid needs you to sit there and trade with him, and I don't think Hunter would sit there and trade with him.
The problem with Hunter is that if he'd stayed at cruiserweight, he would have won a world title. He would have achieved more.
Now.
He could. Yeah.
I mean, the cruiserweight division is so it's so open. It's wide open.
Yeah.
He should have stayed there.
But he could have done what David Haye did when David Haye won most of the belts. He could have come off the momentum of that, and got the bigger fights quicker. But I think he's kind of done it in the wrong order, Michael Hunter.
Yeah, a lot of people are disagreeing with the AJ prediction. They say that this is a very
that's their opinion, isn't it? No, it's not. We know it's not. That's their opinion.
True School Sports TV. I'm gonna get off now, but I wanted to just come in and chime in because y'all like to talk boxing and I like to put my little input in. And I appreciate you, Nathan Terry.
Nice to meet you.
I like vibing with guys from other places so we can try to make these fights happen. The season will start until June, I guess, but I don't think it's really starting in June because I talked to the person that I talked to. He said the fights don't start till like September. So,
oh man,
some of them will start in July.
Yeah, right. I just wanted to chime in and say hi to you guys, man.
I appreciate
nice
you, Ron.
Thank
you for coming on.
All right, Juan.
Is L-Dog coming in a minute?
I don't know what L-Dog is doing. Do you want him on? L-Dog to come on?
Right. Yeah, so we can talk about Hrgovic being the greatest heavyweight of all time.
That's the man right there, Hrgovic.
God, I miss the boxing. I really do. I haven't seen it. Oh, it's hurting me not seeing it.
Yeah, what I've been doing, like all I've been watching as far as boxing, I've been watching nothing but the '80s welterweights. That's all I've been watching. It's straight '80s welterweights. Marlon Starlin, Simon Brown, those guys.
Jesus. I've been watching a lot of David Haye and the British stuff from the '90s and 2000s, and that lot. But
I just watched Vitaly Klitschko and Samuel Peter the other night. That was.
Oh god, brutal.
I only watched it. The only reason I watched it is because I knew Stacey McKinley was in the corner for Samuel Peter, and I'm supposed to see. I'm going to Stacey's gym tomorrow, so I want to ask him about some new stuff. So I'm just watching fights of his that I know he was in the corner of.
Can you ask him about Trevor Bryan, because I think he needs to get back soon, don't he, Trevor Bryan?
I've asked him about Trevor all the time, and every time I ask him, it's the same answer. Oh, we're just waiting on the WBA. I'm like, man, you've been waiting on the WBA for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, so I don't know, but hold on, Nathan. A lot of people have been asking for Pops. He's here right now. What's up, Pops?
What's going on, guys? I'll be in a few minutes. Yeah, talk a little boxing. Give me about 2 minutes. I'll be there.
Yeah, me and Pop's supposed to go to Stacey's gym tomorrow. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm getting back on my gym visits this week because some of the gyms are starting to open up. So.
Apparently, there's some boxing taking place on the 30th, or not on the 30th, on next week. There's some boxing.
This month?
Yeah, there's meant to be some boxing.
June 9th, right? June 9th.
Yeah, which is Shakur Stevenson against Caballero or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. That should be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, he's gonna win more than likely because they're not gonna put him within
the guy's a bum. Sorry, I don't like to use the term bum, but the guy is a bum. His ranking's really low. He's fought nobody.
I got a question for you, Nathan. Like with because like the UFC they seem to be putting on like some really, really good fights. I mean, I don't watch UFC, but everybody I know that watches like MMA and UFC, they say, oh, they've been putting on the best cards ever since the virus. Like
that's true. I mean, from what I gather, but I'm the same as you. UFC's not my cup of tea. I'll sit and watch it. I watched it when Brock Lesnar was in it, but to me, it's just alien. I can't get into it. Maybe you should sit down and watch it sometime. Properly.
I try to. I actually watched one whole fight on the first fight card they did. I forgot who it was. I watched some UFC guys fight. It wasn't bad, but like I don't know, man. I just don't like it. Like you know when you just don't like something, like I don't like Brussels sprouts. I don't like carrots. You're not gonna force me to.
I know what
carrots.
you mean. It's like the same as me. I don't like John Pascal. I just don't like him at all as a fighter. Do you get fighters that you don't like? Certain fighters you can't stand.
Yeah, Andre Ward. I couldn't stand Andre Ward when he fought.
So dull. The way he fights was so negative, but he was a great fighter. It's like, like with the USC, all the hugging and stuff and all the kissing and all that. What's that all about?
I don't know. Official asked BT, have you heard that Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford are starting the negotiations? He tapped this in all caps. Oh snap! No, I didn't hear about that, but I'm gonna Google it while I'm talking to you. I hope that's true because we know it doesn't appear that any of the PBC guys are going to be in any rush to fight Terrence Crawford.
Wow, that would be a cracker of a fight.
I mean, that's to me like at one point that was the fight for me at welterweight. I didn't want to see another fight but that fight.
I think Pacquiao would probably just win it. To be honest, he would just pip him. I think.
You think so? Because
only just. It'd be very close.
We'll see, man. Pacquiao. There's a great argument to be had that Pacquiao is still the number one welterweight in the world. The style he fights, the angles, the guys he's still fighting at his advanced age. He's not even a full-time boxer anymore.
No, but we shouldn't even be talking about him being a great fighter anymore, should we? He should be long gone, really. When you look at it, most people past his age are not fighting at the level he fights at. Him and Mayweather, they're one-offs.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the reason why they're both so good, both Mayweather and Pacquiao, is that like most fighters, right? Fight by fight basis with the performance. One fight they might be at like a 10, the next fight they're at like a 6. But Pacquiao and Mayweather are always like at an 8 or above out of 10. They're just so consistently great.
I want to see Pacquiao get out of the sport soon. I think he's done enough. He doesn't need to do any more. But step away from the ring and be happy with what you've achieved. He doesn't need to achieve anything else. 8 division world champion. Yeah.
I want to see Pacquiao versus Canelo. What? Let's go. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, that could have happened at one point, couldn't it? At one point, earlier in Canelo's career, very early in his career.
Yeah, back when Canelo was fighting the Larry Mosleys of the world,
and the British guy, what was his name? Ryan Rhodes. Yeah. Sorry, Matthew Hatton. Yeah,
it was Matthew Hatton. Yeah, It's true, Nathan. They're in negotiations. They're in negotiations for a fight. I just got it right here on Yahoo Sports.
Wow.
It says Crawford in preparations for Pacquiao fight. That would be insane. I'm not gonna lie to you though. I kind of want Crawford to win that fight.
Same here.
I want like because I like Pacquiao, but Pacquiao's already a legend. Like if he wins, nothing really like it's not gonna do a ton for boxing if he wins. But if Crawford wins, then he'd be a bigger star, and then
he'd be a massive star.
He'd be more known in America, and it'd be great because I feel like Crawford's one of the only fighters in America that we really should all get behind.
He doesn't do enough to promote himself. He doesn't help himself. He doesn't talk.
He doesn't.
When he talks, he doesn't say anything.
I've interviewed Terrence Crawford before, and it's like pulling teeth from him. But when you interview Terrence Crawford, you gotta tease him and joke with him about stuff. That's the only way you get into open about anything. If you ask him serious questions, you're gonna get a boring interview.
I don't understand why he's like that. I just don't get it.
You know what it is? I think a lot of fighters are afraid to show their true personality because a lot of times when fighters do show their true personality, the fans criticize them for a certain opinion or a thought they may have. I think that's the problem. So
he's a serious guy, though, isn't he, Crawford?
He is. He really is. He's one of those fighters that he you have a lot of fighters in boxing that care about being big stars, but he doesn't care about none of that. He doesn't care about being a big star. He doesn't care about having a million Instagram followers. He just wants to be a great fighter.
And if he marketed himself, got better people to market him, and they marketed him properly, he could be like the next Mayweather, quite easily.
Yeah,
he could be really
could. The guy is an exceptional fighter.
You look at the fan base, right? Obviously, Black America like to support their black fighters, don't they? So they'll get behind him.
For the most part, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So why not capitalize on that? I don't like to use the analogy of race in boxing, but it works. It works when Mayweather fought Pacquiao. It worked when Mayweather fought Canelo. It all works.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that fan base and the fact that he's American. Right, in history, haven't always black American fighters always been popular worldwide, haven't they? Joe Louis.
Yeah, I mean,
they have. That's what I'm saying. Popularize on that thing.
Ped
Got a
says you
massive
can tell
camera.
BT has done plenty of interviews. Why do you say that, Ped? Yeah, Crawford's a throwback fighter. He's not one of these flashy guys. That's kind of why I like him though, because like I covered his fight when he fought Hank Lundy, and I got to see him in person, train. I interviewed him and stuff, and like he's just about his business. He don't give a damn about none of this social media clout.
But isn't he similar to Sugar Ray Robinson or Sugar Ray Leonard, that kind of era fighter? That were that way, you know, the way they are.
I wouldn't say Leonard because Leonard
Leonard's a
still
film,
loves all the glitz and the glam of boxing. But yeah, as far as in the ring and when it comes to training, yeah, he's very much like Sugar Ray in that regard. Oh, did you the news?
What?
Pacquiao and Crawford are supposedly in negotiations for a fight.
That's good. But I mean, I was thinking earlier that
He did an interview, and I guess he mentioned that he's in preparation for some sort of fight.
wow. But Spence was saying that he wanted 3 fights or 2 fights before he fought Crawford.
Who, Spence?
Yeah, he wanted to fight Garcia.
We ain't worried about Spence. Spence is gonna be Spence.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's good news. I hope it happens. When's it gonna happen?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything.
Oh, just negotiation.
Yeah.
Well, I got Crawford.
You got Crawford?
Yeah, I got Crawford.
Nathan has Pacquiao.
But only
Wait,
just.
Pacquiao and Crawford?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
but only just.
Only just. He's got it
Split
close.
decision.
Oh, I was talking about Crawford Spence.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Crawford Pacquiao.
Oh, I thought you. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, man.
You don't know who you're picking that fight?
Give me some time on that one.
I'm going with Crawford.
Over Pacquiao?
Damn right.
No.
You damn right I'm going with Crawford.
I love Crawford. I don't know, man.
Crawford's one of the only handful of fighters that are active right now who I think is going to be an all-time great when it's all said and done. Like he's one of the only 3 or 4 guys I think will go down as an all-time great. That's just my opinion.
Freeweight world champion.
If he beats
Pacquiao,
he'll stabilize him as one of the best.
Yeah, damn right it will. This is the Pacquiao just whooped up. Pacquiao just got done beating up Keith Thurman. Pacquiao is arguably the number 1 welterweight in the world.
But tell me why you would pick Pacquiao over Crawford. What are the
Crawford or Pacquiao?
Yeah.
I just think I just think Crawford's his instincts, his reach, his versatility. I don't think he'll be able to. I don't think he'll be able to keep Pacquiao. I think at some point he's gonna get caught with that left hand, because everyone does. Even Floyd got caught with the left hand.
Well, anytime.
But he'll weather the storm. I think he's gonna weather the storm. He might even catch Pacquiao with a big shot of his own, because if you go back and watch the Thurman fight, when Keith Thurman was able to slow the pace and master the distance, he was able to have a lot of success and land a lot of clean shots against Pacquiao. So Crawford, at this point in his career, I think he's mastered the ability to fight at his own pace. And there's going to be many rounds, particularly in the middle of that fight, where he gets Pacquiao to fight at his pace. And when that happens, he's gonna have a lot of success. So I'm going with Crawford, but I'm gonna go with Nathan. I'm going with Crawford, but only just by the hairs of his chinny chin.
When you look at Pacquiao fighting his prime, he was like a machine gun, wasn't he? He would throw 7-8 punch combination, bang, 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 like a machine gun.
My bad, guys. Can you hear me? I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere. My computer just cut out. Yeah, if you're still out there, Nathan, I'm still here. I don't know why my computer just cut out. But yeah, no, like I just think Crawford, if he's able to slow the pace down, Thurman in a way, I don't like this. I hate using the term such and such gave the blueprint to beat a certain fighter, but Thurman did kind of give a little blueprint how to beat the current version of Manny Pacquiao. You got to be able to slow the pace down. If you go back and you watch I think it was like rounds 5 through 8 or something like that. It was those middle rounds of the Pacquiao Thurman fight when Thurman was having a lot of success. Bro, he was catching Manny Pacquiao with some great shots, flush shots, good shots, because Pacquiao wasn't able to fight and he wasn't able to get his rhythm. You know, he's kind of like Pacquiao and Lomachenko are kind of similar in that they're both what I call rhythmic fighters. Rhythmic fighters, meaning that they can't fight you when they're out of rhythm. But if you let them get into the rhythm, they're very dangerous fighters. So you got to be able to keep them at bay at all times. So I just think that it's a great fight stylistically for as a boxing fan to think about. And I really think Crawford will be Crawford's coming out party. I think he's gonna really show the world how great he is and beat Manny Pacquiao. Now, if we're talking Pacquiao Spence, on the other hand, you already know how I feel about that one. I think Spence is his whole style is tailor made for Manny Pacquiao, tailor made. You know, because he's one of these guys. You know, he's one of these like Marvin Hagler type fighters, the workman like fighters where they walk you down. He's great at keeping his hands up. He don't really move his head. He don't really fight you at angles. And he's not like he's good, but I wouldn't really call Errol Spence a master of distance. To be Manny Pacquiao, you're gonna have to be a master of distance, so you can be a master of the pace of the fight. And I think I could just see it in my head now. You know, Errol Spence would be walking Manny Pacquiao down in these straight lines. Pacquiao don't want to sidestep him, come up with the uppercut, come over with the left hand. It's just a bad fight for Errol Spence, especially now when you factor in the whole car crash. We don't really know how he's going to be as a fighter. That's just what it is.
There hasn't really been a lot of footage of him since he got back, has he?
Not a ton, no.
So
I wanted to ask you because you weren't here for the early part of the live. The live was about today is a 1-year anniversary from when me and you went live for Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. Okay. So I wanted to ask what do you remember about that fight, and how do you think it's impacted boxing since it took place?
I mean, that fight, you're talking the first one, right?
The very first Andy Joshua Andy Ruiz fight, New York City.
That fight, I don't think that Joshua was actually into the fight. Coming into the fight, I don't think he was right. He was his mindset was mentally he was ready to fight Ruiz, to tell you the truth, and that affected him a lot. I think it really did. But at the same token, Ruiz came in, was a last minute replacement, and he took advantage of his opportunity and did what he had to do, and he shocked the world. And so, I could remember fondly that they were saying that I'm not gonna say they, but they say that again, Joshua had some kind of concussion or something happened during sparring or something before even the fight even got made. I mean, before even the day of the fight. And how I feel about it is, and how I knew it was really true, is when I seen a parent, like his father was really adamant with Hearns going at it with him, like, how the hell are you going to accept this fight knowing my son's frame of mind is not here because of what happened to him during sparring? So that's why I think the concussion that he had and him not being mentally stable into the fight affected him greatly.
Okay, now one thing that this is what I believe. I've just now recently began to believe this because of how Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn have moved since the fight. Mm-hmm. I really believe in my heart of hearts that fighting on the big stage in America it got to Anthony Joshua. I think it affected him. I have my questions about whether or not he can handle it. And a lot of times the Brits will say to me, well, how can you say this? There's 100,000 people in Wembley Stadium, which is very true. And I'm not trying to throw salt on British boxing. Yeah. I love British boxing, but it's different when a fight is big in America because the country is just so much bigger.
Well, that's a good point you brought out, BT, because I have to agree with you. Joshua, aside a lot of his big fights at home, his home crowd, his home nest, his home familiarity, he was warmed into the crowd. So there's no pressure for him because he knows the fans are there for him. But when he had to take that long trip across the ocean to come to the great USA, he knew he was going into an atmosphere that he's not used to being catered to. This time around, he had to make sure and say, hey, you know what? I don't have the Brit fans behind me. I haven't watched.
They were there, but it was still different.
It was different because if you watch Josh's fights when he fights in the UK, he already knows in his mind frame. It's like a mind. It's a plus as far as mentally for him, because he knows no matter what happens, though, everybody's against him, against the opponent, and not him. But when he's got to take himself, and if you remember, he was very adamant in the beginning to even come to the USA. He was very adamant, and then when he got here, I mean, that just like...
Well, the whole week was weird because, like, remember at the press conference when he let Andy Ruiz hold the belts?
Yeah.
Remember that? What did you make of that?
It's crazy. Why would you even do that? You know what I mean? But I'll say this thing. I'll say one thing. Maybe it's off this fight, but I think what you were telling me about when fighters walk through certain take a walk to a certain
arenas, yeah, certain arenas, yeah.
With the heavyweight greats has been there, and everything. There's already pressure on you. I personally think that the UK fans catered to Joshua a lot. Has helped his career. He's got all the promos over there. He's done everything for him to come to the US. Me personally, I think it would help his career, but for him, I don't think it actually. He didn't feel that way.
I'll say this, and because I want to get to some of these comments that I see. You know, I've had conversations with people within Matchroom about Anthony Joshua coming to fight, not just in America, but in Miami. I'm trying to lobby for Anthony Joshua to come fight in Miami. Yeah. So, hey, I mean, I doubt anybody from Matchroom is listening to this. But hey, anybody from Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, if you listen to this, I still think Anthony Joshua should bring his ass to fight in Miami. That's still something that I want to see happen at some point. But listen, I think that he's gonna have to come here at some point. And when he does, those demons are still going to be there because let's not mince our words. He didn't come back to America for the rematch. He went to Saudi.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's just different.
Even though I think he really, I feel that in his heart, he did say after he got defeated that he wanted to come here. I think a lot of it has to see. This is why I hate promoters. I think a lot of times Eddie Hearns do.
Sometimes, you know what? I think the promoters want to make us hate these fighters. Yeah, because it's almost like they're putting the words in the fighters' mouths.
Right, because if Anthony Joshua said, I want to come back and redeem myself where I got my ass kicked, you know what I'm saying? Granted, I don't know how much more money Eddie Hearns made from the Saudis over MSG, the Barclays Center, but I think it would have been better for him to bring him over here. It would have built Josh more confident, believe it or not, coming back to redeem himself in the U.S., regardless of money, and then he could actually set up for a bigger super fight in the U.S. or wherever he wants to, because now the fans in America know who Joshua is.
Absolutely. Some Libs earlier, shout out to Libs D1. He says a couple questions regarding AJ versus the Ruiz fight. I'll ask you this, and then I'll answer. Mm-hmm. Do you think AJ quit in the first fight? Do you think he quit that fight against Ruiz?
No,
because remember when he sped his gum shit out and.
No, I don't think he actually quit. I think it was just. He was shocked to get the fuck knocked out of him by Ruiz, and he was shocked. He knew before he came to the fight how he was going to react. So I don't think he quit. I think it was the bottom line is Ruiz came in, he showed up. He wasn't mentally prepared. A lot of it is mental, and for him, I don't think he's prepared enough for that. And when he got the knockout or whatever it was, when he became. What was it that he had a concussion or whatever?
Yeah, for sparring.
That affected him a lot. And when I see it,
they say Joey Dwayne gave it to him.
Yeah, but okay, that's fine.
You watched the fight?
Philly, but I don't know. But I'm saying like this: when I see a parent, that's what I'm judging this on. I'm not judging on what Eddie Hearn says. I'm not judging on how Joshua reacts. I'm judging it on what the father reacted. I've never seen his father, and I never have him react the way he did towards Eddie Hearn. He was giving a butt licking to Eddie Hearn right on live. So that tells me that Eddie Hearn just tell his father, "Fuck you. I'm still thinking there's more money to be made. I don't care about the fighter." And he, as a parent, he showed up. So, yeah, I think he wasn't there. I don't think Josh was there mentally. I don't think he was there because of concussion. He didn't recover properly, and that's why he lost the fight. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he quit. I think Ruiz just beat the piss out of him. I think Ruiz beat the fight out of him. He went in there. See, in boxing psychological, you know. Yeah. You get fighters who sometimes go into a ring thinking they can win, hoping they can win, and then you get fighters that go on there knowing they can win.
Yeah.
And Anthony Joshua didn't have the body language that made me believe that he had the belief of somebody who knew he was going to win.
Hey, BT, didn't you say like even before when you were watching the ring walk, you see that expression on his face, and you were saying like something ain't right with him?
I didn't say that when I watched it live. I didn't say that at all.
No,
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you said like
with what happened on June 1st, do you think this was a good thing for AJ's career? I think it was an exceptionally great thing for his career because he learned that, hey, this is boxing. Anybody can be beat on any night, and that you can't underestimate any opponent. And this forced him to go back to the gym and tighten up on some things. Now, I still think he has a lot of deficiencies, but there's also a lot of room to grow. And he's still, in my opinion, he's still a little bit green as a fighter. Yeah, I'm still learning.
It was a reality check to him because he never expected that. You know, sometimes heavyweights that are world champions, they take a lot of things for granted, and they don't take their opponents as serious as they should. And this was a wake up call for him to realize, hey, you know what? Like my BT said, I got to go back to the gym and tighten up a lot of things that I took for granted.
Absolutely. Libs also asked another great question. He said, also, as an American fight fan, how do you think AJ, how can he appeal more to Americans? Well, I think for him it's very simple. It comes down to two things. Because Anthony Joshua, and I'm just being honest with you, he's a promoter's dream. He's a promoter's dream. He's a good fighter. He's an elite fighter. He's very well spoken. He's articulate, and he's somebody that is very marketable. A lot of companies will want to, he's clean cut. A lot of companies will want him to be the face of their brand. So I don't think he really has to do much. It's not really about doing much, Anthony Joshua, to appeal to American fight fans. I think American fight fans and just Americans in general need to get to know who he is. And how do you do that? I think Eddie Hearn has to continue to think outside the box, and he has to have Anthony Joshua fight in multiple different cities in America. I'm not just talking about your traditional boxing cities like your New Yorks and your Vegases and your LAs. Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah. We're not talking about those cities. I'm saying bring him to Miami. Yeah. Bring him to Miami. Have him fight at Marlins Park. Yeah. All right. Bring him to Miami. Have him fight in Chicago. Have him fight in Dallas at Cowboy Stadium. Do different things. Make different segments of the American population get familiar with Anthony Joshua, because you got to understand, you can't mark Anthony Joshua in America the way you market him in the UK, because listen, in the UK, it's a smaller country. Liverpool is only 2-3 hours away from London. In America, we're Miami right now, right, Pop? We're Miami. Yeah. Orlando is 3 hours from Miami. New York by car is it's a day away, 24 hours away, 27 hours away. Yep. America, and I wanna highlight this. People don't understand that America isn't just like one world. It's like 50 worlds in one. Yeah, and I think about it is by you bringing them here to the United States, let them get used to all the fans out here, and let people get to know whose name is. America has got all kinds of branches, all kinds of diversity, all kinds of stuff that he can relate to. But if you just bring him for one fight and take him out of here, you can't do that, and expect the fans of America to say, okay, well, now we know who you are for one fight. It's not happening. You got to sell his brand. His brand is getting him out there. Let the fans in America know who he is. Absolutely. Well, hey, shout out to everybody here, by the way. Make sure you're here. It's your boy BT. You're live here on True School Sports. We're here at Pops. It is currently 7:31 p.m. It's June the 1st. It's the 1 year anniversary of Anthony Joshua getting whooped by Andy Ruiz Jr. Got his ass whooped. But I say, Boxy, what humbled you? Shout out to Ronald Franklin, by the way. What's up, Ronald Franklin? He was here earlier. How you doing, man? And he was here earlier, and he gave some good comments earlier. That's cool. Shout out to Ronald. I wanted to highlight one of his comments because one of the things he said is one of the reasons why I think Joshua Fury strikes happened in America, and I've touched on this before. Right. The sponsorship. The sponsorship in America is crazy. It's unreal. It's crazy. It's the entertainment capital of the world. Yeah. A lot of the big companies are here in America. And there's sponsorship dollars and sponsorship opportunities that just won't be available for him outside of America if he fights somewhere else. Yeah, not just for him, for Wilder. Wilder can get more sponsorships too. Not to change the subject, I'm just saying, I think Wilder had only a few, but if Wilder can get out there, he could go ahead and put the names out there. But for Joshua's already well known and stuff. Yo, Official, you wild today. Official, what is it? You wild today. I just watched a video on the whole Trump thing. And now the comments been hilarious. He said, if I was AJ with all those girls waiting over him, I'll become a billionaire on AJ vibrators alone.
He's crazy.
Well, you know what's funny? There's rumors, and I'm not here to say what's true and what's not. I don't know, but there was rumors.
No facts.
There was rumors that when he was here in Miami, he was in the club with a lot of
who
Instagram thoughts and models.
Who's this?
Anthony Joshua. He was spending a lot of time here in Miami with the Instagram thoughts.
You got money, you got the looks, you got the body. You do what you got to do. You think any professional athlete has been humble and just stayed home and locked themselves in the hotel room? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? They out there, they sell their oats. But like I was saying, like whether it's Joshua got to get marketable, just like Fury's got marketable ability now. Wilder can get some marketability. I think he needs that. I always said that.
I like what Ronald said. Ronald said Wilder should have been on a Wheaties box already.
Yeah, I mean,
a guy like him punching like he could punch should have been. One.
He's got, not to change the whole topic, but Wilder's come from a lot. You know, he made it to where he's at. Nobody gave him anything. But at the same token, I blame it on his team. I always said that his team. That's why, I'm not saying Eddie Hearns is the best because no promoters is the best promoter because they're all fucking dicks and they all worry about their own.
Tell them how you really feel.
I mean, they're all fucking dicks. They don't care about nothing. They just talk about the money and that's it. But this is what upsets me about Wilder is that I wish that he would change his team and get somebody to promote him. That fucking not 100-year-old man who's his manager ain't worth shit for him. Finkel, your boy? Yeah, he ain't shit for him. He needs to go to a team that will sell his brand. And that's why the difference between Hearn, and Wilder and Joshua is because Hearn put Joshua in a position to get all these other sponsors to make more millions and millions of dollars, whereas Finkel has not done that for Wilder. Loyalty is good, but if they're fucking you, you got to move on. And I get mad at Wilder for that because I think Wilder would be better if he just took a chance and took a leap and went somewhere else.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to my man Mark from Unrivaled Box Talking News. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Mark. He says, AJ has a weakness for fat bitches. Is that why he lost to Ruiz in the first fight?
Well, you know he's a free agent now, right?
What you mean?
AJ's a free agent.
What do you mean?
It's just him and his son.
Well, was he not a free agent? Was he not single before?
No.
I thought he was single, no?
He's a free agent.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I was reading about him. He's only just him and his son. He still can't find his love. I'm dead serious to you. He's a free agent. I'll show you. While you doing that, I'm gonna show it to you. Yeah.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah. It's only him and his son. He don't want no love, no none of the bullshit. He says he's focusing on him and his son. I'm not lying to you when I say that.
Can you blame him?
No, that's whatever happened with him and his girlfriend.
Can you blame him?
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
It's crazy.
Especially in the UK, man. He's probably a target over there.
I don't know what happened because I
saw a video one time on his Instagram story, or no, I saw a video Lawrence Acoli posted on his.
I didn't believe, but that's
account. Lawrence Acoli posted this video on his account. It was him and Anthony Joshua. They were in a car, right?
Yeah.
So Lawrence Acoli was he was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was in the driver's seat, and Anthony Joshua was in the passenger seat, and there was two girls in the car next to him, and they rolled the window down. And once they saw Anthony Joshua. And then they're like, "Where do you live? We want to come to your house."
Yeah.
They were trying to go to his house. So I don't blame him. It's a treacherous world out there. Can I ask you a question, Pops?
Yeah.
If you were in Anthony Joshua's shoes, would you want to be tied down or would you want to be a free agent? Which one?
I want to be a free motherfucking agent.
Why?
First of all,
you wouldn't want love.
In the society we're living into right now, women are only looking for two things.
What they're looking for?
Security and money. And they don't care how they're going to get it. That love bullshit, it doesn't work. It's all a fucking, whatever it's called, false, whatever thing. False.
Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Who hurt you? You're better.
I'm just saying, like literally, a woman, I mean, for him to say that, I was just reading about it. I got to find an article now, that he was saying that he's better off just with his son concentrating in boxing. He's not looking for love because he can't find the right one. He's not doing that. So that's good for mentally. That's good for a boxer.
I'll tell you this. I was talking to when I was in the UK. I'm not going to name the fighter, but I was talking to a fighter who's very close friends with Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. And
I was asking him. I was picking his brain. Like, yo, what's AJ actually like for real? And he was telling me. Anthony Joshua apparently lives in Sheffield, and he only leaves his house to train.
That's good.
Like, because he says he can't even go. Anthony Joshua can't even go get a Coca-Cola. He can't even go to the store and get like a Rice Krispies without people bugging him.
See what it says? Anthony Joshua's girlfriend.
Anthony Joshua girlfriend, boxing champion reveals why he's still single. Okay, hey, kudos.
Sometimes, like I see sometimes some fighters where they bring in they have a big fight. Which fight we were watching? The wife is over the boxer. I forgot which one. It was just like a couple months we were watching a fight. And it might have been Wilder, whoever it was. He has his wife there and he's kissing her and everything.
Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao?
I think it was Keith Thurman and Pacquiao.
Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao.
Yeah, the glaze all over him. Listen, man, you got business doing that fucking ring. When you finish that business, you take care of her business. You know what I mean? Put it to the side from not to disrespect her, but put it to the back burner and focus on what you got to get done. You got a job you got to do. And to see Joshua come out and say, listen, I'm single. I'm more happier now. I have my son. I can't find the true love because reality is if you have a lot of money, you really don't know if the bitches love you or not. You still know. You don't know. Look at motherfucker. This is a basketball. We're talking about Steph Curry's situation with his wife.
Oh, no.
I mean, she's crying for attention, all kinds of shit. She's got everything. I mean, she's better off than a lot of bitches that wish they were in her position. So what's my point? You just don't know. So I got to respect Joshua. He realized he's got peace of mind. He can focus on his boxing and focus on his son. And when the time comes for that woman, he'll be on his way.
Facts. That's why, like, even when I have money, like, ain't nobody gonna know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gonna know about it. I could have money right now. You guys won't know about it. But listen, in other news today, I want to kind of switch gears and go to other news.
Fury wants a big contract.
Okay. Stay on topic.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather is offering to pay for the funeral of George Floyd. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna put it this way: is that like, if you're gonna do something, why you come up public?
Well, he's done this before. I
understand.
He's done, like when he fought Janero Hernandez, for the world title. Like you know, Janero Hernandez. When he died, he paid for his funeral. So
that's fine.
This isn't actually something out of the normal for Floyd Mayweather to do. He'll do it.
Okay,
he's done it before.
So what I think about it, I think it's very humbling if it's coming from a humble intentions or for attention of.
Personally, I think it's coming from a good place. I don't with all the shit Floyd's gone through this year. I don't think anything would become. I don't think many things would come from like a bad way.
Yeah, negative.
Because I mean, I have friends who know Floyd. You know what I'm talking
about. Yeah.
And I hear a lot about Floyd and how he really is, and I don't think it's coming from a bad place at all.
I think people might say I hate Floyd, but I don't hate. I have to respect Floyd too because and we're just talking off the chain right now. Floyd has done a lot for boxers. It takes care of a lot of boxes that people don't bring out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you gotta bring if you're gonna judge somebody, you gotta motherfucker bring the good.
Chill.
Okay. If you're gonna judge somebody, you gotta bring the good and the bad out. Simple as that. And we all have good flaws and bad flaws, but we have to respect Floyd for what he's doing. If he really wants to do that for the cause, for the family, and even throw some money for the family, for whatever the case may be, you gotta give him all the respect.
Absolutely. So yeah, I hope he does it. You know, I hope he does it. You know, it's unfortunate what happened to Mr. Floyd. We won't get too much into that, but yeah, it's definitely a great gesture at this time, and I think we should try to highlight that because even though it's a negative thing that happened to George Floyd, at least Floyd Mayweather is turning a negative and there's a small positive coming out of it.
It's a big positive because at the same time a lot of people look at Floyd in a different way, and they don't understand the true Floyd how he really is.
Yeah,
I mean, it touched me when I seen him. A couple articles before his uncle was sick in the hospital. When I seen him by himself there, I was like, wow, I don't think that was an act. And then for him to do all that training now, all that training that he's doing now and everything on behalf of his uncle. So I have to give respect to that. So if he, more or less, what's going on now with the whatever it's called,
mm-hmm.
We don't want to get into it with the Floyd thing.
Yeah.
Respect to him.
Absolutely. Apparently, according to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom USA events will not resume in America until August. So no Matchroom boxing. No Eddie Hearn shows will be here in America anytime soon. It looks like he's going to try to get himself situated in the UK first before he worries about what he's doing here in the States.
Fine. How he wants to do it, it's up to him. But don't play the US as a second fiddle forever because it's gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt yourself.
I'll be honest with you. Can I just be real about Eddie Hearn?
Yeah,
I love Eddie Hearn, but I really think that he needs to.
Ronald Finkel said, "I hate seeing Floyd with 50 women in real life." Hey man,
that's fake to me. Well, he can afford it, and he said,
yeah,
and he says, having one woman is too close to having zero.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Hey man, he's living life.
You know what? Every time I see Floyd 50 women, you know what I think to myself?
What?
That's a lot of damn headaches. That's a lot of damn headaches.
But he's not worried about that. Like, think about it. If he's living a single life and he's got all that money, he knows women are gonna be attached to him because of the money security. He's not stupid. So you know what? If the woman puts himself in that situation and they become vulnerable, guess what? I can't blame Floyd. I gotta blame them.
Why you gotta blame them?
Because they're looking for a handout. They're looking to
this the ticket. This the ticket to out the hood.
Right. So
this is the ticket.
So whatever it takes from to get, and Floyd knows that. So if you want to sit there, shake your ass in this club, shake your ass where you want to do it, and whatever you want to do, tootsie roll, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you have to understand that Floyd's aware of that. You're not gonna take his money with.
Do you think that's a good example of people?
What's that?
Him having 50 women.
He can do.
You know, like you know how he trained Devin Haney.
Yeah.
On Devin Haney's old vlog series, Devin Haney TV, he used to have 30 women shaking their asses in a hotel, and he used to be throwing money on them. So
listen, man,
the younger generation's following him.
Listen, I'm gonna put it like this: to each his own. He went and got his money, and I gotta give him respect for that. I would say he was a good. Flo was a good shrewd businessman, so he could throw all the money, flaunt all the women he wants to. He can do that now. If David Haney wants to, because you remember David Haney always wants to articulate or be like Floyd. He said he wanted to be like a Floyd, or he wants to be the next Floyd or whatever. So whatever it takes. I just think he's more humble than Floyd. He can't be a Floyd. I'll tell you right now. His personality does not fit the Floyd personality.
Anthony McKen says, women these days don't take personal responsibility. Pops catch up. I try to tell him, my dad, because I tell me and my dad have these conversations sometimes about like women, and I'll tell him about women that I talk to.
No, you
and I tell him, I'm
listen,
like,
man,
I said, Pops,
Anthony,
you don't understand what it's like these days.
Hey, listen,
you don't understand.
Let me tell you right now. Right now I have a situation right now. This is like real talk. I'm telling you, I don't tell this to everybody, but I'm going to tell you guys because I have a good list for you guys. My son's telling me, you got to hold woman accountable. Even my wife, he tells me the same thing. You know what? He's right. You got to hold them accountability, because if you don't hold them accountable for doing shit, they'll fucking run over you.
Wait, she said I was right?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, I'm about to say she said I was right. There's no way
I'm saying,
she said I was right.
I'm talking to them about the real talk you give me.
Yeah.
They'll run over you like a freight train. Don't think about it twice.
Facts.
So if you don't hold women accountability, how can you be accountable for them if they don't want to be? Straight up. Okay, come on.
P-Box, what's up, champs?
So I have to give respect to BT. He called me out. Respect to who said it? Anthony McKen. I respect what you said there.
Absolutely.
You called me out on that. And this is like real talk. I don't talk all this stuff personally. I go through all kinds of stuff. But my son been calling this for almost 8 years, telling me, hold you motherfucking woman accountable.
I've been telling him that.
Yeah, so this is straight talk. This is off the sheet. You know what I'm saying? But so we're having a conversation, and I want you guys to relate how personal we are. And we love you guys for being here. I'm telling you like it is.
Yeah. In other news, and I want to take the time to give my condolences to a boxing legend. I'm gonna do a video on this.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do a video on this because I haven't heard too many people talk about this man recently. But I wanted to say rest in peace to the great Curtis Coates. If you guys don't know who Curtis Coates is a Hall of Fame fighter. He was an exceptional welterweight back in the 1960s. He was the welterweight champion from 1966 to 1969. He's been a staple and a fixture in the Dallas boxing scene for a very long time. If you talk to people like Errol Spence or anybody that's just involved in the Dallas boxing scene, they'll tell you all about Curtis Coates. But Curtis Coates was one of those old, throwback. We're talking throwback fighters. I mean, world championship fighter, had some great fight. I believe he fought a couple Hall of Famers. I can't remember off the top. I'm not like the most familiar with his career. I believe he fought Jose Napoles a couple times. He did. He lost the title to Jose Napoles, but he was a great fighter. And I do want to do a video and pay my respect to Curtis Coates because even though I never met Curtis Coates myself, I do have friends in Dallas, and I was just in Dallas, and I've encountered a lot of people from the Dallas boxing scene personally that knew Curtis Coates and have told me about Curtis Coates, and I know he was a great fighter in his day. So he was definitely somebody that pushed this sport forward and was great and was just exceptional in terms of what he did for the sport, for his contribution. So, I can't really say a ton about Curtis Cook because I'm not Mark from Unrivaled Boxing Talk News. I'm not like the most familiar with his career. I just know that he fought Jose Napoli's, and I know that he was a very, very big fixture in the Dallas boxing scene. But I'm gonna go ahead and watch a couple fights soon and do my video about him. But I just wanted to say that. But P Boxing, what's up, champ? He said he wanted the link. Let me get my man P Boxing the link. I'm gonna be on. I want to be live for 40 more minutes, guys. So in about 40 more minutes, I'm gonna end this live and get back to and how you get to and get back to making some other videos because I'm not trying to have too many extravaganzas this month. Not too many. Because them 8-hour lives, them 10-hour lives, they take a lot out of me. When that energy could be used, put into other videos. So let's get into it. We got Intangible Boxing Talk. What's up, Intangible?
Yo, man. I just wanted to say, man, Peter Milos KOs Filip Hrgović, bro. It's time for Peter Milos to rise and become undisputed. Lucas Brown is going to go on ahead and defeat the winner of Fury versus Wilder.
Manuel Charr is coming for all the smoke.
Yep. But first of all, we got to see Lucas Brown then defeat AJ, and then Lucas Brown and Peter Milos mix it up for undisputed. And then Peter Milos will rise.
Absolutely. We also got P Boxing here.
What's good? Yeah, I've seen the title, the anniversary of AJ against Ruiz, the first fight.
P, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's good, man? I was just watching documentaries about Sonny Liston, his life.
What happened?
Sonny Liston. I don't know if you know Sonny Liston, the fighter from back in the day.
Yeah, Sonny Liston. We know who he is. By the way, yeah, condolences to Curtis Cokes.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
Yeah, Curtis Cokes was a legend.
What weight division was he fighting?
He was at welterweight. He faced the names of he faced guys like Jose Napoles. He beat Luis Manuel Rodriguez as well.
Yeah, he like when he was done like his last couple of years on earth, like when he got older, he was a trainer. So like a lot of fighters that were involved in like boxing in Dallas, like your Errol Spences and the Charlos and guys like that, they all know who Curtis Cokes is. They've all had some sort of encounters with Curtis Cokes.
Yeah, he was the undisputed welterweight champion. He wasn't just a champion.
Yeah, no. one of the forgotten American.
Oh, so he just left. AJ Ruiz, nice, good stuff for Andy Ruiz. He can finally relieve this moment. Only a year past him, he was a 3-belt holder. Okay, he got a taste of what Lucas Brown is gonna do within the next year or so. But yeah.
Lucas Brown. Lucas what? Lucas the Australian Brown?
Yeah, Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown is gonna become undisputed, man.
Come on, man. Are you're messing about now?
No, it's Lucas Brown season.
Lucas Brown is TBE.
The real TBE.
I think Hellenius will be a champion before Lucas Brown will be a champion, I think.
Yeah.
Because Lucas Brown is the same guy that got knocked out by Dave Allen with a left jab.
He got folded up like a blue steel chair against Dave Allen.
Isn't he old anyways?
Lucas Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He was just sick and he was at 5%. That's it.
But if he's focused and he trains hard, he's beating everybody.
I think to take the conversation back to AJ Ruiz, I think Ruiz, he let himself down because he's even though he doesn't look in good shape, he's a great fighter, man. I don't know why he didn't train for the second fight. I think he thought AJ was too easy, and that's what a lot of fighters, in the history, that's the mistake they make. I was talking about Sonny Liston against Muhammad Ali, the first fight. He didn't even train for him. And people, you should never underestimate somebody. You should always, take it 100%. You have to train. If you don't train, 99%, you're gonna lose that fight. And I think Ruiz, he was just too arrogant. I think he thought I put this guy down 4 times. it'd be easy cake.
I mean, I think that Andy Ruiz is a legitimately solid fighter. However, I think that his limitations were the main thing that cost him in the second AJ fight. Yes, him being out of shape sort of slowed him down quite a bit, but the problem with Ruiz is he comes in on straight lines. He does not know how to cut off the ring, which is why AJ stayed in control throughout the entire fight, and he could keep him at range whenever he wanted because his foot speed is not good enough.
But Ruiz, he could have easily, even though like they say, he's got slow feet, he could have came up to him. He could have stormed up to him, and I think whenever he came close to AJ looked a little bit in trouble, but he wasn't doing it enough. I don't know, like
that's easier said than done. But like I said, when you have a guy like a Ruiz who can't move laterally and can't cut off the ring, it's much harder for him to do it. AJ did not fight nearly like he did in the first fight. In the first fight, he stood right there in the pocket, and Ruiz could rush in using his, bob and weave type of a style. But when Joshua is backing away, when he's using the space he has in the ring, and when he's varying his jab to keep him at range, and using an outboxing style that is pretty typical for that type of a game plan, then, that's going to always beat a guy like a Ruiz, because that's just my opinion.
I think if I was AJ, I wouldn't fight Ruiz anytime soon. I think Ruiz, especially, it's not only Ruiz. I think AJ struggles against shorter guys. Do you guys agree with me, or is it just me?
AJ, no, he does struggle with shorter guys because he struggled with Talos Takam too.
Well, he tends to fight guys shorter than he is. Parker was shorter than he is. White was shorter than he is. Ruiz was shorter than he is. Alexander Povetkin is shorter than he is. Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of his opponents besides Klitschko were shorter than him. So.
No, but I mean, like when I say short, I'm talking about like someone like Ruiz. He's not as tall as Povetkin. I think in Ruiz like 6'1", like 6'4".
He's like 6'2", I think.
Well, even Povetkin gave him issues. Joshua has problems with guys who can't apply pressure because it forces him to sort of extend the limits of his conditioning, I guess. Because his conditioning sometimes I think needs work. Even in the second Ruiz fight, he was starting to run out of steam, and then he caught a second window after he got buzzed in the 8th.
Yeah, that conditioning still needs work. He's just too damn muscle bound. I think he's too muscle bound.
I realized in boxing after AJ lost that fight, the first fight, I realized, don't rule anyone out. Do not underestimate anybody. Anyone can beat anyone on their day. It doesn't matter how they look like. I remember being in the UK, when they announced the fight, everyone was like, "What? What's going on here? Like, who's this, fat guy? Why? Like, I'm not paying no money and stuff like that." It was on pay-per-view, and nobody wanted to pay for it, even though a lot of people, paid for it because we like to complain, but we end up paying for it anyway. Nobody wanted to see that fight. People were making fun of him. And then when he lost, it was like a big, massive shock. I remember that day. It was like a year ago, man.
It was exactly a year ago to this day.
Yeah, P-Boxing. I just want to say that as far as Ruiz, the problem with him is it's like you hitting the lottery and you never had all that money. If you don't know how to discipline yourself and show that discipline or listen to whoever you have to try to give you some discipline, then that's your downfall. And that's what happened to Ruiz in the second fight. He didn't have no kind of discipline coming into the fight. And now he realizes now he has to climb the mountain again. And I think a couple months ago I read about an article where Joshua said, "I'm not going to give him I'm not going to give him the opportunity right away. I got a business I got to take care of."
To piggyback off that, I think Ruiz, at the same time, obviously he comes from a poor background. He didn't have that type of money. He wasn't even ranked, I heard, when he got the fight. He just literally got the opportunity to fight somebody like AJ, somebody that, got most of the belts. This guy wasn't even ranked,
Well, the funny part, P-Boxing, is that Konaki's name?
Adam Konaki.
Adi Konaki they offered him the fight before they offered it to Ruiz
And Ortiz.
Yeah,
We have a good question in the comments section. Who is the best currently conditioned heavyweight? Of course, we're talking about outside of Lucas Brown, but that's actually a really good question. In all seriousness,
What the top guys, yeah, or what altogether?
altogether,
All together in the whole heavyweight division. Well, I don't think.
Condition?
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, Wilder. He's one of the most conditioned guy. I think. I've never seen him. Obviously, I'm not gonna judge him from the last fight, but previous to that, I think he seemed to be okay with gas and everything. The second one, I would say,
I'm going with Fury.
Well, P-Boxing,
Fury.
what I think Wilder would have to do, and it showed in his last fight. Matter of fact, I was watching the fight the other night again, like a couple times, and what I see with him is, and they say he doesn't run. He's got to figure out how to strengthen those legs, get them legs nice and strong, where when he goes into the later rounds, he can actually go ahead and stand there and fight with some of these fighters.
But he has done that before. He did it in the first fight.
Did he run? He actually tried like that?
No, not running. I'm saying his legs held enough to drop Tyson Fury in the 12th round.
But I'm saying in this fight, he didn't seem as conditioned enough. I think he needs to do more of that.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
He trains the same way all the time.
No, I
think to be honest, I think Wilder, if I was him, I wouldn't change like anything. I think the last fight, I don't know what was wrong, but I would say don't change anything. Just do what you're good at. Just keep it simple. Go at him, storm at him, and just do what you gotta do. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. It's as simple as that.
The thing with Wilder's conditioning is he doesn't expend a ton of energy. He doesn't use a lot of footwork. He doesn't use a lot of foot feints and body feints. He pretty much just sits behind the probing jab, and he's very patient. He conserves his energy very well, and he usually fights in spurts.
There's not a ton of movement with his waist either. Like he's not really
when he throws the right hand, he's gonna start attacking you. But until he does that, he's usually pretty timid. Like there's not really much other shots in his arsenal that he's gonna try to use.
I was listening to the podcast earlier. The podcast that he done last month.
Me?
Do you guys remember that? Did you guys listen to the podcast?
Nah.
The last podcast, when he spoke to the BBC podcast. I don't know if you guys listened to it, but the thing that I got from him was like, he said that everything that went wrong was the last 15 minutes just before the fight. So I don't know what he means by that. He said that he didn't want to say a lot because if he says something, it's gonna sound obviously like excuses. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see because I don't want to say a lot of stuff because at the end of the day, people are gonna think I'm making excuses for Wilder. But
nobody knows what really happened because we're all still waiting for Wilder to come out and say whatever it is he has to say. Yeah. He hasn't really done an actual like on camera interview since the fight.
He's done a podcast interview with the BBC. It wasn't on camera, but it was the radio.
I know, but that's PBC though. It's an interview, but like it's PBC. I want somebody that's like not affiliated with
from the outside.
Yeah,
from the outside. Yeah.
They asked him fair questions. They asked him, what was wrong and stuff like that, and he didn't say a lot. He just said everything that went wrong was the 15 minutes leading to the last 15 minutes leading to the fight. But obviously he didn't say a lot because if he does say something, this is the thing, he can't win. He's in a situation right now that if he says something, people are gonna say, "Oh, you're making excuses." So it's better that he doesn't say anything and just let's go and get the third fight. And no matter what happens, eventually, of course, he will talk. He will say when he's ready. And yeah, I just hope like he doesn't talk now anyway, because no matter what he says now, nobody's gonna believe him anyway, regardless. So there's no point in saying anything now.
I'll be honest with you though. This last fight that he had, to me, he didn't look the same. Like all the other fights he even fought, whether he dominated or didn't dominate, and he had an opponent going towards him like Ortiz or whatever the case may be. He seemed more fresh, more better with his legs, more movement. His movement was a lot better than this one. This fight, like something literally affected him. I'll be honest with you, because that's not what we usually see.
Well, Deontay Wilder has his best success when guys are standing right in front of him. When there are guys like Tyson Fury who are moving a lot and who are constantly feinting and applying mental pressure on Wilder, that's where he fatigues. Because, like I said, he usually isn't busy in a lot of the fights where he's dominant in, like the Chris Arreola fight, like the Luis Ortiz fight. Ortiz is using a lot of feinting and he's trying to draw him into a counter. But if Wilder is staying back and just using his jab and being patient and not trying to rush his offense, he's not exerting a lot of energy. You know?
And another thing as well, I think one of the reasons as well why he looked tired is because, like, you know, I think he added a couple of pounds. Normally he's about what, 218, 219.
Yeah, well,
he was like,
that was dumb. That was dumb. I remember that was extremely dumb to put all that weight on.
Fight night he was like what, 232. So Deontay Wilder was 232. So I would say go back to 219 because that's when he's more his movements is much more faster. At the same time, with Fury as well, Fury, you know, he put his weight on him. He used a lot of a lot of people are not gonna like it, but he used a lot of dirty tactics. Yeah,
he did,
because when you do stuff like when a man that's 275 pounds, if he puts his weight on you, of course you're gonna be tired. And of course, it's up to the referee as well to intervene. I think I forgot his name now. The referee, he's a Hall of Famer, isn't he? How can I forget his name?
Yeah.
What was his name again? The referee.
Talking about Jack Reese or Kenny Bayless?
No, Jack Reese. The second fight.
Kenny Bayless.
Kenny Bayless. I think the next fight, I don't want to see him at all. I want to see a referee that is more of a that looks out for the, you know, just a fair game, you know, because we don't want to see no headlocks. We don't want to see no grabbings. We just want to see like boxing.
Kenny Bayless is usually not very lenient. He usually enforces that a lot. There's a reason why Floyd Mayweather brought him in for the second Marcos Maidana fight. In the first Maidana fight, Maidana was using a lot of dirty tactics, and that was with Tony Weeks. So he brought in Bayless so that he could would be more, I guess, against the stuff that Maidana was trying to use, like the headbutts and the roughing him up and holding and things like that.
Have you guys seen the trip as well? You know, one of the knockdowns, I don't know if that was counted, but that was a trip. And
the second one where he hit him with the body shot?
One of them, anyway, when he tripped him over, it was like a trip. I don't know if that was the second.
The second knockdown was not a trip.
I've watched that on. Do you remember the trip though?
I don't think
there was one trip, and I think it was called. But the second knockdown, which is what a lot of people refer to when they say it was a trip, was not a trip. I've watched that on replay so many times. It was not a trip.
I know. I'm talking about. The point I'm trying to make about the trip is, you know, when he got tripped, I think his leg or. Of course, you're gonna get injured like that. You know, when you get tripped, especially a 6'7" man. You know, he's a very tall guy. So when you get tripped like that and you fell over, you know, of course your legs ain't gonna be there that much. At the same time, but I don't know, man. I think whatever happened. You know, Fury won. I want to see the third fight. I think we're gonna see a different fight. I'm not saying Wilder's definitely gonna win. I think it's still imbalance. A lot of you guys obviously don't agree with me what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, you know, it's still excitement. I mean, you know, Fury is not a champion until he defends that title, because he's never defended a title. So this is why I want to see Fury. Can he defend the title? You know, we'll see.
Would you say that if Wilder came in with a lighter costume coming into the ring, that would help him with the fight?
I mean, the costume, like everyone made a joke about it, but I think I don't think he's gonna. The costume was to do with, you know, the culture. I don't know if you guys understand the culture. You know, to show he's proud. Right? It's just that the Mexicans, when they come with their colorful and stuff like that. I get
respect for that. I'm just saying, like, he said that the costume was like, he spent, I forgot how much money, but he was saying it was very too heavy for him. Do you think he's going to cut back on that?
I mean, I don't think he's going to wear a costume, but he normally comes in with a mask. Anyway, that's his trademark when he walks in his entrance. But I don't mind whatever he comes in it. But I think he knows what he has to do. when I listen to him on that podcast, like, I can sense that, a lot of mistakes were made in his camp, and I think he'll definitely come back much more stronger. And I hope he wins. I hope he wins because I like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are my favorite fighters. In the heavyweight division, they bring a lot of excitement. I mean, Fury, I don't think Fury is that much exciting. Fury is the sort of guy he wants people to feel sorry for him. He hides behind that depression bit, and oh, help me, I'm depressed type stuff. I don't know if you guys agree with me or.
The sob story.
He's like, yeah, feel sorry for me. Yeah.
He says the sob story. Stop crying with tissues on. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and I thought Americans were like much more stronger. Like, what's wrong with you guys? You guys are actually fighting for that. I don't understand that.
I mean, you ain't talking to me. I'm good.
Yeah, we're strong.
Yo, you're going again.
Yeah, he's just dipping every time, like every few minutes.
Yeah, he's dipped in. But as I was saying, until they come back, I mean, like for me, living in the UK, when I used to watch American movies, I used to think Americans are more, more stronger. And when you guys feel sorry for somebody that's saying like, oh, he's supposed to be a fighter, like, oh, and now he's hiding behind this, I'm depressed. And of course, I believe like, there's a lot of people out there, that are depressed, and hopefully, I hope they get better and stuff like that. But when he says he's this and that, and then suddenly he gets over it, like you don't get over it just like that, when you're dealing with depression, stuff like that. But Fury is making out it's so easy, to get over stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I just think I don't know. I just think there's something in there that I don't really. It smells funny to me.
I mean, look, if you want to say that maybe he's not being truthful when he says it's easy to get past Wilder, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying like someone that's depressed and stuff like that, he's feeling like, he doesn't want to be on this earth, and then suddenly he's all happy. And I don't know, like normally when people are depressed, it takes such a long time, and sometimes it's a sort of illness, you will never probably get over it. It's illness that stays with you for the rest of your life. But I don't know, man. And the way the Americans have treated Fury, like I feel like they've treated Fury more of a American, even though he's not an American, than Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder is American, but he's not getting the treatment that as a American champion deserves. And I just think it doesn't matter who he's fought at the end of the day. He knocked him out in a dramatic fashion, his excitement, but I don't know, he's not getting the treatment. I can see that from far away across the pond, and it's not nice to see that, man.
You think his depression will have a factor at some point?
Say that again, Intangible.
You think his depression will have a factor at some point?
What, the depression? What?
Tyson Fury? Yes.
I don't know. I don't even think someone with depression, the way he's acting, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, especially the stuff he
did it for all people with mental health. He did it for all people with mental health around the world.
You see, here's the thing, man. Like, Tyson Fury, he's not giving out the same signs right now that he did immediately after the Klitschko fight. Because after the Klitschko fight, he immediately blew up. He immediately started drinking. And after 30 days, he immediately started thinking about killing himself and just taking a bunch of pills and dying. And that there was absolutely nothing else for him to fulfill in his life. That him beating Klitschko was it, and that he would just die right there.
Yeah, but is that depression though? Like,
what's good, y'all?
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, so here's the thing. I was listening to what y'all was saying about Tyson's mental health. Like, how can you have mental health when you came into the first fight, but then you say you gave away your whole purse? Like, what was that all about? Like, I'm curious to know what that was about, because he said he gave away his whole purse. I felt like that was like a slight on boxing because he's saying like he's don't need another man's money, like because he's fighting that guy. Wilder gave him an opportunity to step back into boxing, and Fury just kind of trashed it in a lot of ways.
I mean, I don't know. I think he was sort of being disingenuous with him saying that he actually gave away his purse. There was no reports afterwards about it. I do think it was a bit sort of I thought it was just sort of off-putting and sort of a distraction. I'm not sure how accurate that actually was.
So intangible, like I hear what you're saying. So like how are we supposed to appreciate unhonest like people that want to like be legendary status or want to like raise the sport up when he kind of like I felt like he kind of like you said he distracted and he kind of like maybe went towards a narrative that like maybe he already knew about like with ESPN or whatever. I don't get it. Like I don't understand why would he taint the sport by like not accepting the purse that Wilder allowed him to get.
Well, I think that his contribution to the sport is going to come with his career. I don't think anybody necessarily looks to Tyson. I don't think people look to legendary boxers, for how good they are as people or how they try to market themselves or whatever. Most of them are just kind of crazy people. I think he's mostly going to – I think if he becomes undisputed, that will bring people to earn his respect more, I think.
Well, it's kind of hard for him to be undisputed because he gave away his UK license. So how is that possible?
They're probably going to have to compete overseas. I heard talks.
Can I answer that? Can I answer it? Because at the end of the day, I'm a UK man, yeah? Okay? So we said, we need undisputed. When we said it, we want to see undisputed in the UK soil. That's what we said, okay? So even if it's against Wilder, we still want to have undisputed in the UK soil because we haven't had it, for a long, long time. Or even I don't even know if we ever had it in the first place in history. So it's never been the case. So basically, like now that he gave his license away or he didn't renew his license. So basically, like that's basically a slap to the face of the UK fans. So he's basically chose America over his people. Even though he's getting a lot of support from the British fans, because when that fight happened, a lot of Brits went to the fight to support him. But yet again, he doesn't want to fight in the UK because he's not renewing or I don't know. Anyway, I think there's a suspect why he hasn't got his license in the UK because I remember when he failed the drug test when he fought Christian Hammer after Christian Hammer. Am I right?
Yeah, he failed the drug test after Christian Hammer also?
Yes, it was after the Christian Hammer fight. It was not after. Wow. He tested positive for cocaine after the Klitschko fight, but he tested positive for steroids after the Christian Hammer fight.
Wow. Christian Hammer fight, because with the Vladimir Klitschko, that was only cocaine. But the main one was Christian Hammer. He failed, obviously, for steroids. So I think that one, he's never got done for it. He's never been banned for it. And he went off and he said, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm depressed. He put a lot of weight on. So this is the thing, like, when it comes to this stuff. Fury is a smart guy. Like, he's not a stupid guy. And he hides a lot of things. Like, and this is one of the reasons why I reckon he gave away the license of the British border control. Because if he doesn't have license in the UK, they can't punish him in the UK.
Boxing, how is he allowed to hide all this stuff though? Like that's why people need a governing body, like because we respect the sport. We want to see the best athletes fight each other. But like if the people that's promoting these fights or the sanctioning bodies are not like actually ruling, it bothers like the regular boxing fan. Like it bothers the regular boxing fan.
The reason why the reason why I turned his back on UK fans, I guess you could say, is because, well, A, he's with Bob Arum now, and he has a partnership with Bob Arum. Thus, Bob Arum is going to make it a priority to market him to the U.S. market. Yeah. And he's also been sort of a guy who turned his back and tried, and always been a dude who has never really been never been a favorite of the UK media. He's always been a guy who sort of tried to go against the norm, sort of.
Because look how he acts when he's in the UK. He does crazy stuff. Like that's why the UK media don't like him. Like with AJ, like you don't hear him even putting white.
The UK media is part of the reason why I think he's never going to fight in the UK, because even when he was champion, the UK media never embraced him as a champion. Well,
He was a champion only for a short while. BT, like let's be fair, he beat Vladimir Klitschko. He got all the belts, just like Ruiz did with Anthony Joshua. So it's not like he collected those belts one by one. It was a one go, and then suddenly he gave away, and no wonder they're gonna say bad stuff about him, because he never defended those belts.
I'm saying in the immediate aftermath, the handful of months, but when he got back to the UK, like I remember that very well. Like he wasn't really like that embraced by the media, because not too long after he won the belts, the whole thing happened when he got into the argument with the whole human rights guy about homosexuality.
No, BT, no. Basically, the homosexuality and all that stuff that came after. Basically when he won the championship, I remember on a newspaper, like all over the British newspapers, they were like putting like, "Oh, Fury, he's a champion." It's out there. Come on, man. Like the way they were celebrating his win in when he won in Germany against Klitschko in Dusseldorf, they celebrated like massively. Like BT, I'm here in the UK. I can see everything. The way they were celebrating was different class. He was on all the TV shows and everything. Yeah, they celebrated like a big deal.
I will say there are some connections between Tyson Fury not fighting in the UK and Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis's only fight in the UK after fighting Oliver McCall the first time, where he got knocked out, was against Francois Botha.
Yep.
That is one fight out of tons of his greatest wins.
It's different with Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, he's got connection with Canada and America, and I think he's Jamaican as well. So with Lennox Lewis, he's a guy that has connections with all these countries. But with Tyson Fury, I can't think the hell why he's, fighting in America, because I think he's hiding. That's
Lennox Lewis,
it's the entertainment capital of the world. That's why.
Boxing. Lennox Lewis remind me of my local fighters when I lived in Atlantic City, like John Brown or maybe even Lavanda Johnson. Like rest in peace to Lavanda Johnson. But like these guys will go anywhere and they will fight anybody. That's how I look at Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis was a different type of breed. You can't compare BT and Intangible and Lennox Lewis and Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury, like, he's going to America to hide. I'm telling you now, there's no other reasons why he's in America. He's only hiding because in Britain, like in England, he can't fool. He can't fool the UK knows what he's all about. Okay, that's why he's not fighting the UK, because they know the truth about him. There's only a few fans on YouTube that you see that are bigging up Fury. Okay, the reality is that he is not. He's a guy that cheated, with steroids against Christian Hammer. He went off and he wanted a party, just like Ruiz, wanted a party. What's the difference? People said a lot of stuff about Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury, he wanted a party, and he never defended a title. This is gonna be his first defense against Deontay Wilder.
Hey,
even if he still makes.
What's up, man?
What's up, BT?
BT, can you get Pops on the phone real quick? I want to chime in on this. Ask him how he feels about the Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham versus Tyson Fury fight. Ask Pops how he felt about the Tyson Fury versus Steve Cunningham fight.
How did you feel about Tyson Fury versus Steve Cunningham? Did you watch that fight?
No, did he think that Fury did a cheap shot to win the fight?
Oh, and he knocked him out.
Which one?
He went like this. He went like this, and he knocked him. Before.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a cheap shot.
I've hit him a legal shot. I didn't see the fight, so I'm not gonna. I can't answer that question right now. I have to go back and look at it. All I want to ask you is, how does the UK fans view Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? Who's the A side and who's the B side?
I'll tell you that right now.
Anthony Joshua is like, when you see Anthony Joshua on YouTube right now, it looks like Fury is the guy, but that's because of YouTube. YouTube is only like small industry, When you see outside, like outside YouTube, like the UK, they prefer Anthony Joshua. It's probably like 30-70%, like the way, because you have to look at it. With AJ, that's their role model. He doesn't like he's the guy that is well fixed by Eddie Hearn. Like he doesn't say nothing bad. everything
He's
he does.
a
bro.
circus
In
act, bro.
your,
He's a circus act in boxing.
in your own
AJ's
personal
a
opinion,
circus act.
P-boxing, what do you feel as who's the top dog and why? I told you.
For me, I'll choose AJ. AJ is still the top dog because AJ basically he had title defenses. He collected those belts one by one. He's for better opponents. I think AJ, he can adjust his style. A lot of people are saying now on YouTube like Fury is gonna beat him easily. Okay, we'll see, innit? We'll see. But I think AJ will beat him.
Right. So you're basically saying that the UK fans favor more Joshua. So would it be wrong for what Fury is doing, going to another country to try to get the support that he needs that he's not getting from the UK as much as he should?
He still gets support in the UK.
Don't deserve it, Pops.
Okay.
He really don't deserve it, Pops. He really don't. Because if you like fight Klitschko and then you have to get out of boxing, that tells me right there you don't have morals. Like, that's just my opinion, Pops.
Yeah. I respect all you guys' opinion because we're all being open-minded about everything. So I respect everybody what they got to say.
Pops, can I say something to you? Like, very important before I forget.
Sure.
Okay. So, Pops, you have to look at this here. Let's say, like, if AJ even is the favorite for the UK fans, yeah. Fury, all he has to do is beat AJ, and he's gonna win the fans over. The British fans are the sort of fans, whoever is the best, they'll get behind him and they support them. That's what they do. He's still got a massive support. He's still got a lot of supporters. That's why I said earlier they traveled all the way to Las Vegas in the United States. They still supported him. So you have to look at it. On that night, everyone is gonna be like, I don't think he's gonna get boos. They're still gonna support him. But what I'm saying is basically overall, obviously AJ is, he's got the most support. But at the same time, it's not like when Anthony Joshua fought Klitschko in the UK at Wembley when Klitschko came in that he was getting booed. Mm-hmm. Fury is not going to get booed. He's still getting that support because he's from that country. But what I want to know is why is he turning his back on his country?
Yeah. So you're saying so if that mega fight ever happens between Joshua and Fury, who you got?
I got Anthony Joshua and I'm supporting Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
Because I tell you what, because I've been following Anthony Joshua from the Olympics when he won the gold in 2012.
Wow. Aldo, what you got to say on this?
Hey man, I gotta say that I think AJ will actually beat Fury, but I think Filip Hrgović will beat them both.
Wow, that's
the L Dog saying that. The L Dog just say that with the intangible.
Yeah.
L Dog.
That's crazy.
Bro, Peter Milos will destroy all three of them.
Nah, okay, Peter Milos is actually trash.
You guys are talking about the future. Let the future be the future, okay? We're talking about
what are you talking about?
We're talking about currently what's happening. We're talking
Peter
about
Milos is 15-0, and he'll become undisputed easily.
I'm gonna say there's no one's lineal until they fight Lucas Brown.
Oh my goodness!
Lucas Brown.
Wow, he's got a point.
He's trolling right there.
Nah, Lucas Brown is the real champ, bro. That's my king.
Okay, wait. So basically, you're telling me now, Dillian White, he's the lineal champion because he knocked out Lucas Brown.
Did you not see that Dillian White drugged Lucas Brown's water bottle and used loaded gloves? Man, get the fuck out of here with that matchroom bullshit.
You're trolling now, innit? You're trolling. Just calm down, innit, Elder. How many times do I have to tell you? Relax.
Bro, I'm telling you, Lucas Brown.
Yo, dog saying he's using loaded gloves over there, yo. He kind of like making a point right now.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's my king, man. How can I let my king?
L Dog is speaking nothing but facts right now. Nothing but facts.
OG, basically, he's trying to do psychology, reverse psychology. That's what he's trying to do. Because we've been saying about Fury having a load of gloves. What he's trying to say is he's trying to reverse it all around. You're trying to be smart. L Dog, come on, man. That's like kindergarten.
That was seriously reaching, L Dog. That was seriously reaching. You reached hard that time, bro.
Hey, Ron, you're LDBC, right?
Hey, P-Boxing, do you agree that Joshua has a weak chin, or you think he'd be able to handle Fury? That's what I hear.
I think he will be able to handle Fury, but I think Tyson Fury will outbox him.
Bro, Tyson Fury got pillow fists, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
The only difference is Wilder just wasn't that good, and he has a glass jaw.
yeah, but I'm talking about Joshua. I'm sorry, I meant to say Joshua. Joshua is known for his weak chins. That's what I hear.
It's better than Wilder's, though.
Yeah, what do you think, P-Box?
They're comparable.
On basically Fury and Joshua. I think people say Joshua got a weak chin. Like I think anybody can be. Anybody can have a weak chin.
Brendan, don't they got Wilder ranked number 4 right now at heavyweight?
And what? In Ring Magazine?
At heavyweight, like don't they get him ranked like number 4? Like
yes, they have him ranked number 4.
He's four.
I got him.
No. Wilder is actually Wilder is number 2 actually. Fury is number 1, and Wilder is number 2, and AJ is number 3. That's
on the ring. That's box rec.
Okay.
Yo, Elder, you think Dillian White is overrated? So who do you have?
I'm gonna give you my top 5 heavyweights right now. Number 1, AJ. I think he's got the best resume. It's debatable though. Number 2, Fury. Number 3, Dillian White. Number 4.
We got the Mayan.
Andy Ruiz, Deontay
champion, Tyson Fury.
I'm gonna say number 4, Wilder. Number 5, Ruiz.
Wilder's 300. He's ranked number 3 on Ring Magazine right now.
I have him behind Dillian White. I think White's got a better resume, hands down.
I was talking to Unrivals. I was talking on his channel earlier, and we've been discussing about the lineal championship, whether Fury is the lineal champion, and we have decided that Fury isn't the lineal until he becomes whoever becomes undisputed, because the lineal has been broken. So basically, we need a new.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
They made up some bullshit by saying that Wilder is number 2 and Fury's number 1. Like,
here's the thing,
AJ,
man.
3. How can AJ not be 1?
If Fury became lineal after beating Klitschko, he could.
Than anyone at heavyweight.
But think about it, though. But think about it intangible. Like if say like this, like say if Fury actually defends his belt and then he actually goes for undisputed, then I can give him lineal because then that starts a new process. That starts a new process.
Hey, Ron, in my opinion, you can't become lineal like when it's broken. Like when, say someone vacates their lineal status, you can't become lineal unless you become undisputed, because when you become undisputed, there's no discussing who's the best in the division. You've proved it. But because even if you beat someone who people think is number 2, there's still a debate. Like, you're LDBC, right? So you probably had Wilder number 1 or number 2. But there was always a debate between Fury or AJ, who's number 2, who's number 3,
Yeah. Yes.
So you can't get an undisputed lineal champion where there's no arguments unless you have something like we have Usyk and he just beats everyone.
Even if Fury was the consensus lineal champion after beating Klitschko the first time, he retired. If you can retire for 2 seconds, for 2 hours, for 2 years, like Fury did, if you retire, the lineage is automatically broken.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong, because you know what? There was one guy in the past. That's what Unrivals was saying. And
who? James J. Jeffries?
Yeah, I think they kept the lineal.
Did vacate his lineal status though.
But the thing is, the reason why the lineal was broken is because Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko, they never fought each other because they were brothers.
Yeah, we get that part. We get that part.
So that's why the lineal was broken. So that's why, and the whole thing about the linealship, with Vladimir Klitschko having the linealship, that was not true. So therefore, Fury couldn't be a lineal champion. So we need to establish a new one.
Well, they crowned him that though. So like we just trying to like go on like positivity. Like, don't get me wrong. Like Wilder got his ass handed to him, and we know that. We accept it. At least I accept it.
Say it again.
I accept it for the LGBT.
No. Say what happened again.
He got his ass whooped. So.
Right. Nah,
okay. Listen. Okay, no, but listen though. OG though, I'm actually telling the truth. I've been talking to Unrivaled earlier. Basically, we said that there needs to be a new lineage. So
I agree, man. And it starts with Lucas Brown.
Even Wilder and Fury, even It got nothing to do with Wilder and Fury. He was never a lineal champion. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Wait,
Look,
who was never?
in my opinion, the lineal champion will be the winner of the undisputed fight. It could be anyone from Pulev to Pulev versus Wilder.
It can start again right now. It can start again. It can like actually come into fruition at this point. All of the heavyweights, like it can come into fruition if these promoters make these fights that they know everybody are going to buy. We're going to watch these fights if they make the right matchups.
Pulev is going to become undisputed easily when he destroys AJ and then destroys.
And first of all, like, you know what I've been really going in on? This bitch dude, man, Dillian White. This dude is a straight clout chaser of Deontay Wilder, man. Hey, like, I know that's what the LDBC been saying, and people want to disagree with it, but I actually agree with them. Like, they offered him shots to fight Luis Ortiz or Brazil, saying you can get the title shot. He said no, and he fought other dudes. I'm not saying he ducked them, but he did not do everything to get that shot.
Dillian White is known to be clout chaser because at the end of the day, Dillian White, he had a lot of chances. Even last year against AJ, he could have fought AJ for the 3 titles. Exactly. He said, "I'm getting lowballed, or I'm worth more than 5 million."
Turn that down.
Bro, 5 million is a lot of money. Like, just take that money. Especially, like, now looking back, I mean, he would have beat him that night, probably.
Probably, yeah. So Dillian White, basically, he's a clout chaser. I've been saying it for a long, long time. It's not just him facing Deontay Wilder. I think what he wanted is, he wanted to face Deontay Wilder. He thinks he can beat Deontay Wilder because he already lost against AJ. So what he wants to do is, like, he wants to get that green belt and face AJ and 50-50. That's the thing that he wanted, but I don't buy that. I think Dillian White, he just wanted to be a champion, and he thinks, he could beat Deontay Wilder, but I don't think so. I think Deontay Wilder will actually knock him out.
L-Dog, you're just saying that because he hasn't given Hrgovic his title shot yet.
Fact.
Nah, I'm gonna say this, bro. I really want to see Wilder fight White because I think I want to see him get flattened by that right hand, man, Thanos style. Just disappear afterwards.
Dillian White, I like Dillian White, but I just see him as like a pawn in Eddie Hearn's little game.
That's how I like that.
Dillian White is a bully. Do you know why? Because do you guys remember the press conference on him and AJ? He was literally being intimidating. Like he's a sort of guy that he was a bully. So basically, suddenly he changed his character. Now people like him. He's like the friendly guy. Blah blah blah. But technically, like he's actually a guy that he likes to take advantage of certain situations. And he's a bully, and you can't change over.
Exactly, man. I want to see him fight Hrgovic. Let's see it, man. I've been pushing for this fight.
I'm dying for Hrgovic to step up.
I'm telling you, Michael Hunter and Dillian White. No ducking, man. Let's get it. Let's see it. If he can beat Hrgovic, I'll say, okay, Dillian White is for real. But until then, I don't want to see him fighting these old dudes, man. Like, I give him credit for Rivas. I give him credit for Parker. But, I mean, Povetkin is old, bro. And I thought he lost to Michael Hunter.
You got Lucas Brown.
Oh, man, Lucas Brown, yeah. Lucas Brown
No.
is the real TBE,
No. Hrgovic is not going to achieve nothing by fighting Lucas Brown. You want Hrgovic to go up, yeah? Okay. He needs to fight like someone like Michael Hunter. Joseph Parker, yes. Joseph Parker, actually, they can... Joseph Parker actually got a lot of fans, so, he'll make a lot of money. Is he a millionaire yet, Hrgovic, or he's not there yet?
Hell no, he got paid like 15 grand for his last fight.
What, against Molina in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, man, they lowballed him.
15,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lowballed him.
Jalolov is going to knock out Dillian White right now.
Bro, I'm telling you, Jalolov...
Jalolov. Okay, wait. You guys said the other day, Jalolov is, when it comes to when it comes to the nitty gritty bit, yeah, he'll basically he'll basically quit. That's what you lot said.
I don't think
Ivan Ditko's beating them all.
I don't think he'll dig deep.
I think he's gotten better. I still got to see a little bit more
mental toughness, bro. He looked like he wanted to cry against Joe Joyce and he wanted to quit. I know he's gotten skillfully better, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, Key and Mitch says
Man.
that Charles Martin beats Dillian White.
Hell no.
What do you think?
Bro, Lucas Brown versus Charles Martin for undisputed. Set it up.
Set it up.
Untouchable, you're so boring. Like Untouchable, come on, man. Like you have to have something about you. How can you say something like that? But it's your opinion. If that's the sort of fight you want to see, and I hope we don't see that type of fight. But yeah, I mean, going back to Hergovich, somebody in the chat, I think Keen said Hergovich, Anthony McKean. He said, yeah, Hergovich not a name yet. It's true. Hergovich not a name yet. So we need Hergovich to fight
that's a
somebody.
duck. That's a duck. I don't care if he's a name or not. He's ready for it, bro. He's up there in the rankings. I want to see it.
He's ranked across sanctioning.
He's ranked. I'll be honest with you. He's achieved more than Dillian White has. What has Dillian White done, like an Olympic bronze medal or a European Championship gold medal? I know that's amateur boxing, but he ain't done shit in the pros, and he hasn't done shit in the amateurs.
The thing is, though, like Dillian White, you know, he's gonna have Povetkin on his resume soon. He's got people like Rivas. You know,
we don't know.
Bro, you got to fight young killers though. You can't just be fighting old dudes, man. Like, bro, if AJ fought fucking Larry Holmes next week, would that be an all-time great on his resume? Sure, but
exactly. I don't think a lot anyway about Dillian White. I think Dillian White, he's made a lot of money because of. We got a lot of stupid fans in the UK that are willing to buy like any fights. I don't know why. Because you know what they like to do? They like to go out on a night out, drink.
They want to drink.
Have fun. Yeah, that's what they want to do. So they will go and see, like what Untouchable said, Charles Martin against Lucas Brown for pay-per-view. They'll go to that stadium and fill it up because that's the sort of people we have in the UK. They'll have fun to watch that fight. But I don't like the fights.
Yo, Usyk should get a shot before Hergovich. Usyk versus AJ or Fury, the winner. That's a fight I want to see. I think Usyk is skillful enough for it. He doesn't have quite the size or the strength, but that dude is.
I think this is what should happen. AJ should fight. Well, Hergovich, I've already said I want him to fight Hunter, then White. Then I want him to fight Fury. But I want Usyk to fight whoever and then fight AJ right away.
Wait. Usyk already got the chance anyway. He's gonna fight Cesaro, and then he's gonna fight.
Yeah, that's
AJ
what I want to happen.
Got the belt.
AJ should fight Usyk and Usyk.
I want to see how Usyk does against somebody who's going to have better height and is going to use the jab on him. But Usyk's, with how busy he is and how good he is at controlling his opponent, I'm just a little bit unsure about how he's going to do at heavyweight, but I think he can do really well.
I honestly think with Usyk, is it WBO or WBA that are saying like if he. So basically, they're saying like they justify, and just because he went up, like he's guaranteed to be a mandatory position, to have a mandatory position. That's actually like kind of unfair. There's so many people in line. How can a guy that just came up?
It's not just the WBO; it's the WBO Super, which is like a designation that some WBO champions get. Now, I can understand it.
But so basically,
if
like
you become undisputed and you move up, I think you deserve to get a title shot.
Yeah, but then basically, this is the wrong time now. We are looking for undisputed now. So he's coming in, and then potentially he can actually be an undisputed himself if he beats AJ and he faces the winner.
That's what undisputed is, though. It's the best of the best. I don't want to see like a fake undisputed. I want to see, look, if Usyk beats AJ, then he deserves to be in the undisputed fight.
Yo, think about it real quickly, though. What if Lucas Brown, who ends up beating the winner there, and he then goes into the UFC and avenges his loss against Daniel Cormier?
Hey, you saw that on my Twitter, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal it for YouTube.
Bro. That's what he's gonna do, bro. He's gonna avenge his loss to Daniel Cormier after becoming undisputed. Then he's gonna fight Stipe Miocic, and that's a 50-50 fight right there. But I think Lucas Brown might edge it out and become the first ever simultaneous UFC heavyweight champion, undisputed boxing heavyweight champion, and he'll do so breaking Larry Holmes' title defense record, and he's gonna become the oldest heavyweight champ of all time in the
Wait,
process.
and Lucas Brown fighting Parker anyway.
Yeah, bro.
he's gonna
That's
he's
step
gonna
one
destroy
to his
Parker.
comeback, man.
But I want Parker to face that guy, McKean guy from Australia, and because that guy is 6'6", he's much more younger. He's undefeated. You know, that fight will be more of a challenge for Parker. Of course, Parker, believe me, he is gonna destroy Lucas Brown.
Oh, don't be stupid, man. I've got Lucas Brown inside 3 rounds.
Lucas Brown's come back better than ever.
That's you know how crazy.
Lucas Brown is the real TPE.
You know, Lucas Brown is going to enter basketball and surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the all-time scoring.
1,000% facts.
And then he's going to move on to I don't know, fencing.
He's gonna hit more home runs than Babe Ruth.
Champion. Yeah, he's gonna start hitting. He's gonna go to baseball and hit more home runs than Hank Aaron.
That's
Facts, bro. We already know Lucas Brown is for real, man. Like Dillian White, he loaded his gloves and drugged him in a water bottle. We know that's facts because I said so, and I'm close to Lucas Brown, so
What about Dave Allen?
obviously that's facts.
What
But
about Dave Allen?
Dave Allen,
L-Dog.
that wasn't even
what's your
Lucas
source?
Brown.
L-Dog, what's your source?
Bro, I'm telling you, I have an anonymous source that's close to Lucas Brown, but in due time, it's all going to come out, man. When Lucas Brown becomes undisputed, he's writing a book. It's going to sell more copies than the Bible, and it's gonna reveal all this nonsense that went on, man.
Oh wait, yeah. But
Think
listen,
about it though. Lucas Brown may have one of the best resumes in the heavyweight division right now because he's faced the likes of Dillian White and he's officially beaten the likes of James Toney in ATG, okay, a 3-weight world champion. He beat James Toney and he also beat Ruslan Jagayev, who was once a top 3 rated heavyweight.
All jokes aside, I want to see Lucas Brown fight Stavern.
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad fight.
and he retired though. Stavern is retired though.
Is he?
I heard, somebody was saying that earlier.
Give him 3 months and we'll see him in the ring with Wilder again, probably.
Okay, what sort of money would he make though with Stavern? Let's be honest now. Stavern, how old is he now? 43 years old. We haven't seen it. What was his last fight against Joe Joyce, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Bro, actually, I'm gonna tell you guys what fight we're really gonna get for undisputed: Lucas Brown versus Kiyotaro Fujimoto. This is the greatest comeback of all
the same guy that got knocked out by Dubois.
Dubois, yeah.
Hey man, he was obviously drugged, bro. And I know another close source to him that's gonna come out with this.
You guys are jokes, man. I don't know what's saying.
We're being serious now, man. We're being serious, man.
I can't take it. Pops get Pops back because it needs to be order in the channel.
Yeah,
you guys are taking a
Hey yo, L Dog, Kiyotaro Fujimoto versus Joe Louis. Who wins?
Man, that's a good fight, actually. I'm gonna go with Fujimoto because, I think he's learning stuff from like Inoue, Ioka, Tanaka, so I think he's gonna become even better, bro.
Facts.
Okay, wait, L Dog, wait. You're from New Zealand, right?
Yep.
So, and you meant to go support like Parker because Parker is your countryman. He's from New Zealand, isn't he?
Hey, but see me, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, bro. I don't look at nationality or color. I only look at, at skills. And I think Lucas Brown has got a massive edge over everyone.
As well as Parker.
You guys, you guys like to throw Lucas Brown. I don't know why. Like, he's a funny character though. And
Brown is garbage. As simple as that.
he's been in the UK. Like, he comes to the UK quite often. Actually, Lucas Brown. He's
no, he's known over there.
Is he?
He's known over there since he's fought Dillian White. He's been coming there quite regular. Yeah, like
Dave Allen.
Yeah. He's friends with all of them, like with the Mushroom fighters. Yeah, he's now gonna be Eddie Hearn's like matchmaking guys. He's gonna be like the journey guy.
I think we're gonna see Lucas Brown in there with
Maki?
Dubois or that one guy. What's that guy that just sounded with Frank Warren? There was a guy that sounded Frank
All
Warren.
right, if I'm gonna be honest, he's gonna retire after Parker ices him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's getting paid quite a bit of money as well.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
Parker makes big money down here. He's been making like 6 figures since his early career.
I don't know, man. If you don't retire after that Dillian White fight, I don't know when you retire because that was pretty bad.
Chocolatito is going to become the undisputed heavyweight champion.
That's the most.
Ali Ramey.
Ali Ramey is going to be a 17-weight world champion once he comes back to life.
Oh, McKean on the chat said, is Povetkin going to beat White? What do you guys reckon?
Povetkin versus White?
No, he's too old.
He's too old.
I'm favoring Dillian White. I think Povetkin's just taking a bit too much punishment at the moment.
Alexander,
But if we're gonna fight or two, I mean, like 2 fights ago, I would pick Povetkin.
yeah, honestly, Povetkin, like a couple years ago, would have beaten White, in my opinion. I think pressure is a very, I think like relentless pressure, except Povetkin is a little bit smarter with his pressure, but pressure tends to hurt White as well, because White, when he pivots out, he's off balance usually. I think Povetkin otherwise would probably ice him. But he's a bit too old right now.
Oh, Anthony on the chat here, he's saying like, does Wiki Hatton owe money to Brown? I never heard of that. I know they was training together in the gym.
I don't have access to the bank statement, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
not
so
going to
no-
talk on that because like that's just he said, she said kind of shit.
So basically, I was gonna say, at the end of the day, we was talking about the anniversary of today. You know, what a day, man! The 1st of June. I was like, I can't believe the year's gone fast, man. Where did the year go, man? I remember waiting for that
Bro,
fight.
it went to shit. That's where it went.
Absolutely, man. We haven't had no decent
This is
boxing.
a trash year, man.
I'm glad I got to see my favorite fighter, Ajakba Efe Ajakba. At least I got to see him knocking out or retiring Kajanu. That was a great fight. Absolute great fight.
You know how good the schedule was for boxing?
Oh,
There was Inoue, Casemiro,
gonna go to
Dorticos
that
versus
fight.
Bradis,
Prograis versus Hooker.
Prograis versus Hooker, Campbell versus Fortuna. There was
Usyk
Loma
versus
versus
Thor.
Lopez, Kosai Tanaka, Kazuto Ioka, Roman
Daniel
Gonzalez versus
Lusanov
Estrada.
versus Julius Ndongo.
Yeah, that one as well. I mean, shit, you had Hergovich returning, you had Joyce
Loma against
Dubois.
Teofimo. Have you mentioned
Yeah.
Loma against Teofimo?
Yeah, I mentioned that. You had Canelo versus Saunders. You had the trilogy with Wilder Fury. You had AJ returning. Like, you had
Dorticos
Usyk,
versus
Chisora.
Breeders.
But don't worry, folks.
Yeah, so
Time is-
many great fights, man. And they were all cancelled. Like, this is just tragic.
This time is just going to be another chapter in the Lucas Brown biography because he is going to write about the time where he cured coronavirus.
Facts, man.
Oh, thingy, Ted Cheeseman. Do you guys know Ted Cheeseman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's been dropped. Like, he's been dropped a couple of times now by the judges. He's not getting a fair shake in England now. I think he should fight like maybe Spence or someone like not Spence, but like someone like was it Sean Porter or something like that. He can make his name and he can make more money like by fighting them because Mushroom ain't treating him good. I think he's a good fighter. Do you guys think he's a good fighter or do you guys think Ted Cheeseman is average?
I mean, yeah, I like him. I've enjoyed his fights and whatnot, but I think he's average because he hasn't even proven himself to be elite at the British level yet.
Yeah, Ted Cheeseman is kind of trash.
Well, yeah, I remember I was live on YouTube when he fought Sergio Garcia. Sergio Garcia ripped him a new asshole.
The Spanish guy, Anthony. He lost against.
Beat him.
He lost Fitzgerald. Yeah, that fight it was close. I think he got robbed in that fight. The Spanish guy, like Garcia, and he basically he won. That was convincing me because I don't think he put a lot of effort into that fight. Ted Cheeseman thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but I actually think there's more to come of Ted Cheeseman. I think he's he can be in welterweight and he can be in super welterweight as well. So I don't know.
I hope so. I like him. Alex Collins with the $5 super chat says Roland Lastarza versus Doug Jones. Who you got?
I'm gonna pick Doug Jones.
Yeah, I'll probably go with Doug myself. I like Doug.
Roland Starza, man, good job on almost defeating Marciano and having them hide the tapes. Doug Jones wins. Yo, Catastrophe, GMB Catastrophe says, L Dog, what do you think about Jaron Ennis?
All right. People ask me about Jaron Ennis. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not a fan. Not a fan. So
He's young though. He's a young guy.
too many fighters trying to finesse all the time, and I think it deceives people at how good their defense actually is. Yeah, you can make someone miss with your hands down, but can you make them pay? Can you like, if you're not making them miss and making them pay, like, it looks cool, but is it really effective? I don't know, man. I gotta see him tested. That's what I'll say. I gotta see him against a
Sergey Lipinets.
I don't know. I want to see him against a Ugas. That would be a great fight. Put him against Ugas. I think Ugas, because he's so fundamentally sound, he's the right guy to really test you. You know.
Ruben Guerrero versus Angel Garcia.
Angel Garcia beat the shit out of him.
Man, put some respect on Ruben Guerrero's name, bro.
Angel Garcia will come with that blue steel chair and knock him upside his head. What are you talking about?
But oh yeah, if you want to know who my favorite welterweight prospect is, it's Danny Yalusinov.
Oh yeah,
but I don't think he's the best.
What's his? How do you spell his name?
I'll type it in the chat.
I think it's DANIARYELUS.
Hey, he trains in South Florida as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he trains in Boca Raton. He trains at the Boca Raton POW. I gotta go.
You gotta interview him sometime, man.
I do. I'm getting.
Those countries like Kazakhstan do mad viewers on their fighters.
They do. I know. Like, tomorrow I'm actually going to. I'm going to go see Stacey McKinley tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'm going to this other gym, and then Thursday I'll probably be out by you loosen up on Thursday.
Because I know he's training, man.
Yeah, I don't think
I saw some clip on his Instagram the other day, man. Moranchik was doing like fucking 15 muscle ups in a row. This dude's insane.
Yeah, Danny Yalusinov is gonna versus Julius Ndongo is the fight of the year.
It's a good test, I think.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Like, think about it. A unified champion. Yeah, he got the shit beat out of him, and he was a weak unified champion, but he wasn't he's a unified champion and a 2-time Olympian. Like, he's experienced at
intangible.
least.
Is there any update on Yoka against Tanaka? Is it confirmed yet?
It's pretty much the same status as it was a couple days ago. Nothing. Everything is set besides like the date. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Aldo, you were saying something in it.
Henry Cooper versus Jerry Quarry. Who you got?
Jerry Quarry. However,
I'm going with Cooper.
All right,
I'll be right back.
Yo, what do you guys think? Let me think of a matchup.
Blair Cobbs is the welterweight king. Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Somebody commented that. Did it? Yeah, I didn't read the comment.
Yo, let me think. Hazumi Hosogawa versus Punsawat Kratingdangjim fantasy fight. Who do you guys got?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you're bringing out some names from like what? Is that like flyweight, or minimum weight?
It's neither. Both fought at bantamweight to featherweight. Punsawat Kratingdangjim fought at bantamweight. Well, super bantamweight actually. And
is that Japanese fighters?
Shizume Hasegawa fought at featherweight. Punsawat Kratingdangjim is Thai, and Hozumi Hasegawa is from Japan. Now, who do you guys got?
I got the Japanese guy.
Hozumi Hasegawa. That's the guy. That's actually the guy Johnny Gonzalez beat to get his first belt at featherweight.
Is it?
Yeah.
I remember when Johnny Gonzalez fought Gary Russell all them years ago.
Yeah, that was in 2009 or 2010, I think.
Intangible, how do you know so many Japanese fighters? Like, do you literally look for them, or How do you come across them?
I know a lot of fighters from a lot of different nations. Trust me, it's not just Japan. I know the Japanese champions, but I can name you every single champion in the sport right now. I can name you a lot of fighters from all different nations.
Oh, Intangible, you've been in the sport what, 5 years, yeah?
Not too long.
And you know all of them.
Every single champion.
He studies them. He does a lot of studying. So,
All right.
I can do it without BoxRec. So,
Okay, what about the fighters from back in the day, like from the 60s and the 70s and that? Do you know the information, or are you still studying them?
I'm studying them, but I know quite a bit of them. I know
he does. There was one time, P, where I wasn't alive. I went on Mark's live once, and we were reviewing this BoxRec pound for pound list, and like, I mean, I'm not as well versed as far as like far back in history as Mark and Intangible were. So I saw a lot of names I didn't recognize, but like, man, these guys are talking like they're just spewing off all these names like the 1900s and the 1890 and 1910, and Mark will say, yeah, this guy was an Irish farmer and he fought this guy in 1906. I'm like, okay, shout out to.
Okay, do you guys know what happened between the first fight, Sonny Liston against Muhammad Ali? Was that a fixed? If you guys watched it, or
I don't
Wasn't
think
it the second fight they were talking about being fixed?
fight.
Yeah.
The Phantom Punch, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
When Ruiz fell down.
so was it fixed, or because like there was a lot of mobs like involved with Sonny Liston,
It was
and I don't know if that was fixed or not.
It was a nice pull counter from what I saw. Whatever.
No, but the first fight he didn't get knocked out. Sonny Liston, he basically retired on his, I believe that was the 7th round or something like that when he retired.
Yeah, whatever. Ali was beating him by that point.
I
Whatever.
don't think we'll ever know, man.
Yeah, I don't think it was a fix, to be honest with you.
Yeah, neither do I.
They say the same thing with they say the same thing with Rocky Marciano's fights.
Are you serious?
They say he's only undefeated because he's because of the Italian mob.
Oh, Brendan, you missed 2 super chats from OG Ronald Finkley.
Oh, my bad. I'm over here in La La Land.
Yeah. Alex Collins already did his. Ronald Fingley sent you a super sticker.
He sent the super sticker with the thumbs up. All right, appreciate that, Ronald. And then hold on. So what was the other one?
Yo.
At the top, I think.
I see it.
Hey, I'm gonna jump off now, fellas. You have a good one.
All right, Eldad. Great talking to you, bro.
All right, man. See you later.
Yeah, I think that I know quite a bit of fighters from like the 60s, 70s. Random fact, Carlos Monzon, every single one of his title defenses were against top 10 rated ring fighters.
Were they?
Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Oh, okay.
AP boxing. Who's the best boxer in British history right now? No matter what weight it is.
What, the past and or the future?
The past right now. Who holds the torch, and who you think is in the future?
You confused me with that question.
Lennox Lewis is the future.
Who's
I
the
mean,
best?
the past.
It's Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis, and the future is AJ.
I disagree, man. I think the greatest fighter in British history is Ted Kid Lewis.
Oh yeah, Ted Kid Lewis is nasty.
Wow.
Ted Kid Lewis, he's one of the old school fighters.
Yo, look up his run from 1916 to 1917. That was an incredible run. He was like 25-3 and 4, something like that. But his run of wins were incredible. He had like 5 wins over Jack Britton. He had a win over Mike O'Dowd, Soldier Bartfield. That dude's resume, he's one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Right, but those fighters were not. They were not as athletic and as better as they are in this century now. I mean, the era we're living in now.
I mean, they're not as athletic, but also Ted Kid Lewis is under that same standard at that point. He also had the same sort of technology to increase his physical stamina and things like that. So you have to compare. You have to hold him to the standard he was by his era. But even if that's the case, then why aren't fighters today fighting 30 times a year?
They should, right? Fighters today are a lot softer than they were back in the day. That's for sure.
I think the thing is when you see, I don't know if they're softer. I think the fighters from back in the day, they had to fight because of the money situation, and with nowadays, you only need to fight once or twice. That's enough to be rich. But back in the day, I guess the money wasn't all that, so that's why they were fighting about 3 fights in like 3 weeks or something like that, or even less than that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know, man. I've seen plenty of fighters in gyms duck sparring. I've seen.
Yo, think about it though. I mean, if anybody wants to debate me on Joe Calzaghe versus Ted Kid Lewis, please come to the panel. I'll destroy you.
Damn. Intangible said he wants some smoke. So any of y'all from the UK, if you want to debate him about Joe Calzaghe and Ted Kid Lewis, be his guest.
So who's the favorite though?
Probably.
Who do you favor, right?
Ted Kid Lewis all day.
Yeah.
But Kawasaki had a great resume and everything. He accomplished a lot, but I don't know what will make the difference.
Joe held that belt hostage for a while. I like Joe, but Joe didn't fight the best guys right away.
Yeah, in fact, his title run wasn't that great. He fought Byron Mitchell and gosh, who's that one other?
David Reed?
Yeah, David Reed. Well, not David Reed. Robin Reed. David Reed was the guy at welterweight that Trinidad knocked out.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, I know in the Reed fight, everybody thought that he got a gift. A lot of people thought he got a gift. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's necessarily a Hall of Famer. I'm not sure. Yeah, he also beat Jeff Lacey, Roy Jones, Hopkins.
And he did, and you know what? Speaking, just like Fury, he did a lot of coke too.
Yeah, you could actually argue that Carl Froch has a better 168 resume than Joe Calzaghe.
Resume? I mean, he knocked out George Groves in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium. Need we say more?
Yes.
Yeah, but he lost against Ward.
Yeah, but he beat Glenn Johnson. Beat the great Glenn Johnson.
Ward is better than everybody.
Why did he not fight Kovalev?
Who, Froch?
Dude,
yeah.
You realize that Andre Ward is better than everybody that Joe Calzaghe fought at 168.
Oh, shit. Seriously?
Yes.
I think when it comes to like the fighters from like low rate fighters, I think when it comes to that, like the UK compared to the Americans, I think the Americans are like much more better.
And keep in mind, Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins were at 160. He fought him at 175. He didn't fight them at 168.
Was Jeff Lacey at 175 or was it 168?
168.
Okay.
Joe Mata says that Jay Harris versus Julio Cesar Martinez was the best fight in history.
No, it wasn't. It was a good fight, but it wasn't. I was there at that fight. I remember when I was there, I watched it. Like I was watching it, but my attention wasn't completely on that fight when it was happening.
Anthony, look, you can say that Joe Calzaghe beat Peter Manfredo. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. beat Peter Manfredo.
That's right.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Come on. If Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. beats you, you should just retire.
That's right.
Andy Lee, not a bad good commentator, good boxer, but you got beat by Chavez Jr., bro. Just leave.
Is that the guy that bottled it in his last fight? Is that the guy you're talking about?
He quit again.
The guy that quit. Yeah.
Yeah, he quit against Dan.
And everyone was throwing bottles at him, and they were
He
disappointed.
was doing
All the
all right
Mexicans.
against Daniel Jacobs too. I thought he was doing okay against Daniel Jacobs before all the bottles started coming in and he quit.
He quit. I don't know why he quit. I think it was. Did he have a broken nose or something?
He wanted to go home.
He wanted to go home.
Why box? Why box when you can just buy a bunch of hookers and do blow? Like why? He's a crybaby.
Exactly.
He's only relevant because of his dad's name. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and he actually did show some promise at one point. Like, in all seriousness, he did beat Andy Lee and Sebastian Zbyk to become the WBC champion and made a couple defenses. I think he made 3 defenses. Sergio Martinez just went up to him and proved that there were levels. So that pretty much ended his career. Like, aside from the 12th round, that fight was just it was genuinely hard to watch. He was getting his ass whooped so bad.
What do you guys think of Roberto Duran? Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Of course, one of the greatest.
Yes, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't think that Duran's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, what do you think about the first fight? Him and Ray Leonard. Did he quit? Like, because a lot of people said that he quit the first fight with Leonard.
Fight. That's where Ray Leonard stopped him. He didn't quit in the second fight. He told the referee no mas. The first fight he won.
Oh, sorry, second fight. I mean, because they fought 3 times, didn't they? So he quit the second fight, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And then obviously the third fight he lost in a convincing manner. But the thing is why he's so great as well is because he fought all the way into like 2001 or 2002 at the age of like did he fight until he was 50 years old?
Duran?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he fought until he was like what? I can't even remember. Like 51. Oh no.
Yeah, he fought like 5 decades or something, isn't it?
He fought William Joppy at 47 or something like that. Which is crazy.
Yeah, that guy was a good guy as well. Like, I watched his documentary a couple of months ago. Like, it was quite amazing. Like, he started giving money to the. Was he from Puerto Rico or Panama? Panama, yeah. He started like giving money to the local people. He was their hero, and he became a hero of Puerto Rico as well. I think because one of the guys that he beat before he died, he went to see him, and I think is it Costa Rica or Puerto Rico? I can't remember anyway. But they started liking him as well, and he became their hero as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he was a crazy guy though.
Yeah.
Duran is one of the
I
top.
think we'll wrap it up soon.
Duran is one of the top 5 greatest lightweights of all time. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. I don't. If anybody argues against that, I'll smack the shit out of you.
I believe you. Listen, bro, I'm gonna wrap it up because I gotta go run some errands.
All right, man. Listen, nice talking to you guys, you and Pops and Intangible. I'll see you guys soon, man.
All right,
Thank you,
Pete.
thank
All right,
you.
Intangible, and everybody in the chat.
Thank you
care,
so
guys.
much. Take care, guys. Take care, L-Dog.
Oh, Doug's not here.
Okay, intangible. Sounds like him. But you didn't go.